We are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie, and today we got a few things on the docket. We're going to check out some 49ers news that's going on, a David Lombardi graph, which will be interesting to check out. And then right after all that stuff that happens, we'll obviously get to the comments, what people have to say. But after that, the meat of the bone, which is an all Larry Krueger mock draft. And what is that? What's an all Larry Krueger mock draft? Is Larry Krueger going to be here? No, he's not. But I decided to go back and look at all the Larry Krueger's mock drafts from this previous year. Maybe like one or two I may have missed. But I wrote down all the players he's ever drafted in all these mock drafts. And we're going to draft only those players that he drafts, not players that he says he loves or likes, because there's a ton of that. He'd be like, oh, I love this player, I like this player, but then draft somebody else. Players he's only selected in a mock draft. So we're going to try and do that. It's actually quite interesting. There's some of them that I'm like, wow, that's actually crazy. It hurt. I did a test run. I tell you what, there's some players we passed on that really, really hurt. So we'll jump into that, of course. And as you all know, we're brought to you by water. It's really good for you. It's good for your skin. It's good for your organs. It's good for your bowels. And it's free. Well, I guess for the most part, it is free. And it's just good for you. You know, just drink a cup a day. You know, it's all it takes. And you can do whatever the hell you want after that. H2O. It's the way to go. And that's not vodka. I promise. I would like to apologize for this is why I don't do late night streams, is because the lighting looks absolutely terrible. Looks like there's an orange filter right now. There's really honestly not. It's just how it is. I do gotta get better lighting for what's happening here, but yeah, I have all the lights on right now, and this is what we're working with. So anyway, glad everyone is here. We got Papa J in the house. Good to see you. Best mod a bro could ask for. Nikita in the house. My Monday's doing great. He's laying down. Okay, I hear you. Sometimes we gotta take a nap. I hear you. It is 7 p.m. Pacific time for sure, Jake. Welcome, and congrats to your team signing Chase and Higgins, even though I think you're just doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Niners for life in the house. Good to see you. Appreciate you. As always, Papa J showing up. I appreciate you as well. Hope everyone's enjoying their Monday. It doesn't have the Monday blues. You know, and I don't know where Monday blues comes from, because I know like back in the day, it's probably where it came from. A lot of people like the blues, right? Like, maybe it comes from the phrase like, "Are you feeling blue?" But I don't know. That's kind of weird. But all right, let's go. Hey, Papa Jay's showing some love. That's what I like to see. Yo, Jake. I don't know if you were here, but I am super happy for your team, even though I think, doing the same thing, expecting a result is not exactly the way to go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the 49ers news. Yes, we already did the Jordan Mason news, which is pretty much the latest news outside of that. The only thing that really is actually new for the 49ers right now is the fact that the Eagles have signed Azeez Ojulari, someone that a lot of 49ers fans wanted to sign. Personally, if you guys saw my post earlier today that I put on YouTube, I'm not happy about that. Because $4 million for Azeez Ojulari is 24 years old. Put a flyer on him. He could be really good on this defense. I don't know. But just $4 million. Strawberry did make a point that, hey, maybe it was Azeez's choice that, hey, I don't want to be on this team because the Eagles will probably have a chance to go back-to-back. And was like, our team is like retooling, or some look at it as rebuilding. So I can understand where that argument can come from. However, if it doesn't come out that, the 49ers tried or anything like that, then I'd be upset. To not even put your hat in the ring would kind of bother me a little bit, especially considering he's young and only $4 million. I bet you if you threw him an extra $1 million or $2 million, that probably would have convinced him to sign with the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm a little bummed about that. But again, we'll as things go on, as the days go on, we'll hear more about it potentially. And if there was actually an attempt to get him and we just failed to get him, I will give the front office a pass because, like Strawberry said, I could see why he wouldn't want to go here over the Eagles. I get that. But if not, I'd be kind of relatively upset because I just think that's relatively cheap. I understand you want to go younger, but Azeez is young, right? And you would take a flyer on him. It's not like I'm asking you to give him like a $10 million, like a 10-year freaking $50 million contract. I'm not asking him to do that, but I am asking like to at least try to get that guy on a relatively cheap contract for someone who's cheap. It's like getting a rookie almost, right? It's kind of with some NFL experience, how I look at it. So I'm not entirely happy about that, but I would like to know if they tried. If they tried and Azeez was like, no, I want to go to a Super Bowl contender for sure. Totally understand that then. But we'll know more as the days go on. But missing out on Azeez Ojulari with the options that are left now, it seems pretty clear that they're going to go with Gross Matos, Samo, and whoever the rookie is in the draft. I'm assuming that's what they're going to do. So, yeah, that's what I feel about Azeez Ojulari. That's the latest news with the San Francisco 49ers. Hey, let's pay Trey. Probably not going to happen, man, because he wants way too much money. That's not happening. That's a whole other set of worms. So the 49ers messed up by not getting Ojulari. I will agree that was not a good move to not go after him. But again, we have to wait to hear more on the situation. I mean, theoretically, they just need one D end. At the end of the day, they really just need one D end, and they get that in the draft. So it's not the end of the world that they get Azeez Ojulari, but I do think it's not, especially with how much he was worth. I think it probably was smarter to go after someone like Azeez Ojulari. But again, we'll hear in the future if they actually did pursue him or not. But then again, like we didn't hear reports of that. Some people were saying that they were just great, like he would be a great fit for the 49ers, but no actual report that we're going after him. But at the end of the day, when it comes to edge rushers, man, this team just needs like one or two. And there's plenty of those in the draft. So it's not the end of the world, but I do agree that it was something they should have done. Did an all defense draft today, no trades, 3 D tackles, 3 linebackers, 2 edges, 2 corners, and 1 safety. I don't know about the 3 linebackers. God damn, man. The 3 linebackers might be a little bit overkill, but I do like the 2 edges and the 2 corners and the safety, but the 3 linebackers is a bit much. Hey, we're showing some love. That's what I like to see. We have no stars at defensive tackle. Yes, that's true. That's true. But you can get to in the draft. So put your head up high, Joe. Put your head up a little bit, man. Breathe. You're panicking. Breathe. You're freaking out, man. Breathe. Get some D tackles in the draft. It's okay. He wanted to come here. I don't know if he wanted to come here or not. That's the thing I was saying earlier. Like if he wanted to come here and we didn't offer him that contract, then that's a bum deal. I think we should offer him a contract, especially $4 million. But Strawberry did make a good point that going to the Eagles, you do get you probably have back-to-back championships. You're heading on to a really good defense that is stacked on the D line, which would help him out. But we'll have to know more before we actually make that real judgment. But based on what I'm hearing from what I've read, I haven't read anything about us pursuing him at all, and that's my concern. But we'll know more. I'm sure there'll be a press conference with him or something like that, or someone's going to interview him and ask him did you get any other offers anywhere else? And then we'll probably know then. Hey, we're showing some love. That's what I see. Joe Ojulari does not play D tackle. That's a good point. Why can't I? Hell, there we go. It's lagging. It is lagging. This shit is lagging. They have to get defensive tackle early. They cannot wait until the 5th round. I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. I don't think if they waited until 5th round, I'd be shocked. I'd be genuinely shocked if they waited until 5th round. And if they did, those 5th rounders that they decided to draft better start day 1. So it was reported they tried to get Greenlaw after he signed. It was reported they tried to get Greenlaw after. Well, you can't get someone after they sign. I mean, once they sign, they sign. Or you're saying that they I think there was reports that they were trying to keep Greenlaw before he signed, if that's what you're talking about. They wanted Greenlaw. The 49ers tried to keep Greenlaw. But I didn't think it was going to happen because Greenlaw says that he wanted to own his own ship. He wanted to run his own ship. He wanted his own defense to work with. And he's not the number 1 guy. It's Fred Warner. So it just wasn't meant to be, man. It's just not meant to happen. And I'm happy he's gone in a sense that injury prone, don't overpay for that. It's time for him to go somewhere else. I understand why people are upset that Greenlaw is gone, but at the same time, I think people should just understand why he's not on the team. We're shifting our focus to pay him. We're going to get a deal done. Is that what they're saying right now? Is that what they're saying? We'll see. I mean, you guys are asking for a first-round draft pick for the guy is actually wild. For Trey Hendrickson, that's actually wild. But he plays a position we need also. Steve-O. Fist pump. Bengals also signing players to big contracts. Nice shift. I don't think they should have signed Higgins, man. On realistic terms, I understand Jamar Chase, best wide receiver. You could argue best wide receiver in the league. I would take Justin Jefferson over him, though. But, I mean, Jamar Chase, best wide receiver in the league. Phenomenal, triple crown, great player. But honestly, I would trade T. Higgins and – because you got, like – okay, how do I put this? Like – you have Joe Burrow, who's supposed to be like this elite top 3 quarterback, and you got Jamar Chase. Now you need another wide receiver 1B on your team and pay him a lot of money. I guess he technically took a discount, but that's my point, though. It's like you still took a chunk out of the salary cap just to keep them together. I think that's wild. I don't think it's – I think they should have traded T. Higgins and tried to get something more in the draft for their defense and focus more on their defense. I think it's actually crazy. I don't understand the obsession – to have to keep those 3 guys together. That's something I don't get. I know Joe Burrow wanted it, but, this is a business, and you're trying to build a championship team. And I know the fans are going to be happy. I know the fans are going to be excited about it, but, like, you got to be – if I was a fan, I'd be happy. Like, yeah, I like those players and all, but, like, you kind of screwed us over on defense, like, big time. This team is screwed. Like, I mean, you had Higgins, you had Jamar Chase, and you had Joe Burrow, and guess what? You missed the playoffs. And everyone knows it's because you had a crap defense. I think it's crazy they did that. I think it's actually crazy. I thought you meant Trey Lance. No Trey Lance. No Trey Lance. There's so many positions of need that we need to get in the draft. It stresses me out, man. I disagree with that. The reason why I do so many positions, it's really just 3. It's really just 3 positions of need, like need to be competitive all. It's really just 3. And it's D tackle 1, D tackle 2, and D end. Linebacker 2 is not necessarily a need when you have D Winters and Bethune. Yeah, you'd like to have an upgrade, but when you're talking need to someone who's a start day 1 kind of type thing to fill in that position, you can get a linebacker in the 4th or 5th round to fill in that spot who could potentially be a starter. But the need situation really honestly is just D tackle 2, and D end. That's really honestly it. There's really no other, like, I guess 3rd corner, but you don't need a big starter there. Again, 4th, 5th round kind of type thing you could do there. My only concern for this team is just D tackle and D end. That's about my only complaint, I should say. My only, like, okay, they have to address in this draft top end, like 1st round, 2nd, 3rd round, or whatever, is 2 D tackles and a D end. Outside of that, man, they can do whatever the hell they want. They can go guard, preferably. I'd rather have them go guard or center. Would probably be the next position after that. 2nd linebacker, wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't. A free safety would be good in a corner. So it's a corner, safety, 2nd linebacker, 2 D tackles, a D end, and a guard. So that's 7, and you only need 3 of those to be starters. I don't think that's that bad. You only need 3 of those out of the 7 positions to fill to be starters. So I'm not stressing. I'm really not, especially considering how easy this schedule is. Like, we have a very, very easy schedule. We have a phenomenal defensive coordinator. And our biggest problem is the defense. So we have a phenomenal defensive coordinator. We have 3 needs that need to be starters, and we have an easy schedule. So I think this is a perfect time to do what they're doing right now and take advantage of it. So if they're and it really hinges on the draft, man. They have to nail the draft in the sense that they can't mess around. They can't ignore the obvious, right? They can't ignore the blatant obvious problem with this team, which is D tackle and D end. Like, if they ignore that, I would be shocked, because it's not like last year where you could have gone here and there. You could kind of push it down around and things of that nature. No, this time around, man, it is clear as day your top needs, which is D tackle, D end, and the rest and everything else is just the rest of it. Like it's so clear, And there's only really one position that the 49ers have that's bone dry, and that's D tackle. They're bone dry at D tackle. Everywhere else, they have depth. They have depth everywhere else. So I think they need to just focus on that D-line situation. I think they'll be fine. Do you think 49ers still want Colson Loveland? I think they would like him, but I don't think they're going to get him. I don't think they're actually going to get Colson Loveland. I would be shocked if they did that in the second round. They're not going to do that in the first round. If they did that in the first round, we riot. We riot at dawn. I tell you what. But yeah, Colson Loveland, I like him. I do. I think he's a great tight end, but I think he's just way too. Between early second round, late first round type talent. Where in the second round, I would rather see them get a corner instead of a tight end with that second round pick, and he's not falling to the third round. So Loveland, I'm confident is not going to be on this team. If we end up drafting with the second round pick, I would be shocked. I would be beyond shocked. I really honestly would. Joe, I was looking at your back-to-back comments. Giving two receivers big contracts will hurt the Bengals. They will have to get rid of Trey Hendricks. I know it's I think so too. And again, this is kind of coming from a casual too. Like Jake knows this team more than we do. It's kind of like when people are saying the 49ers are falling apart. Maybe if we actually look at the Bengals, maybe there's room for them to actually sign Trey Hendrickson. Maybe there's actually a possibility of that. But I mean, from what I've heard, there's 44% of the cap is going to just 3 players. And I know Trey Hendrickson wants market value. And right now, market value for a DN is between $35 and $40 million. Because I think Myles Garrett is kind of like the tip. So can you afford to pay Trey Hendrickson for 2 to 3 years, $35+ million after you just got done paying 2 wide receivers a shit ton of money? I think Trey's gone. I do think the Bengals are very hard-headed front office, but I would be shocked if they actually ended up keeping Trey and Trey actually signed there. I honestly would. They're trying to pay him now. We'll see if they get it done, man. That'd be shocking. I actually will be genuinely shocked. And I know I said that like 4 times so far, but that's like one thing I'd be shocked by if they actually get that Trey Hendrickson done. They need to replace Floyd. No doubt. I think they will. No, we don't, Joe Boyd. Would have been between Monday and Wednesday. We need another defensive end. Robert Beal cannot start for this. No, I agree. I agree with that. I think we'll get another DN, man. I'm not worried about it. A lot of ways to maneuver the cap as well as cap space. That's true, but I don't. Here's the thing, man. It's great that you'll keep Trey Anderson possibly if you do, but you're just you lost players, right? Just how much was the defensive coordinator the problem, and how much better can you actually make the defense compared to last year with your cap space? I don't know. I just feel like you guys are pigeonholed in a freaking spot with your team where you need Joe Burrow to outscore a terrible defense. Trey Henderson will get you your sacks and stuff, but it's not stopping offenses from getting 35, 40, 45 points. One player is not going to get it done. So I'm a little concerned for you guys in that aspect where it's like you guys are going into next year the exact same defense, with the exact same team with a lesser defense. I just think that's going to be it's a little concerning. They announced he had agreed to a contract on Monday. They still tried to get him back before it became official on Wednesday. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about here? They announced he agreed to a contract on Monday. They still tried to get him back before it became official almost. Oh, Dre Greenlaw. Gotcha. That wasn't going to happen, man. Once I'm sure that'd be crazy if that actually happened. I think it's happened twice, but I think Dre Greenlaw is the type of guy once he makes a decision, that's a. If they actually were okay, he's going to agree to this contract and he's going to stick to it on Wednesday and sign that contract, I think it would have been I think that would have been crazy. I don't think that's happened. I think it's bad business. That's just bad business. Joe, it's not Beal, but it's YGM. Those three are tandem are elite. They are, but I mean, still to make the playoffs. Why does the 49ers always wait so long to sign their own players? Do it now before they get more expensive. They wait too long and paid more for $30 million for Ayuk. Uturgos Monos is not a starter. He is a backup. I don't know. We'll see. He had an injury issue last year, so I don't think it's a fair assessment. And not to mention, he was playing under Nick Sorensen, who didn't know how to use his players. And Uturgos Monos actually played really good in the back end of the season. He actually got better. And in the start of the season when Utur was playing, he was playing through an injury. And it wasn't until someone – I forgot who came back. Someone came back, and then when he came back, Utur went on to IR. And then when he came back from IR, Utur was actually pretty good. So I actually disagree with that. I think Utur can be a starter on this team. Do I think we should still go after a D end? Of course. But I disagree that he's just a backup. He's better than Beal, who you put out there as a starter. Without Higgins, we probably would have been eliminated by week 17. So you'd rather be eliminated by week 17? I know, but you cannot go into next year with not getting a starter defensive end. I'm telling you, man, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. I tell you what, if they don't do it, if they don't draft a DN they don't think could start, I will be with you, Boyd. I will jump on the train with you, man. That's crazy. That'd be crazy. Without Higgins, even if we beat the Pats in week 1, we probably would have missed the playoffs by losing to the Broncos. I think losing to the Pats was your Achilles heel. I think that was the Achilles heel. Maj Sports in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. See you. Well, good for you to see me and then see your comment. I never said they shouldn't. Do you think they are just going to go pass when their turn to pick and the draft comes around? Like 49ers are up at 11, and they're just going to say, nah, we pass? Dre Greenlaw. I don't think we can address all positions of need solely through the draft. We need to get Kendall Fuller. Didn't he sign with I thought Kendall Fuller signed with the Miami Dolphins. I thought he signed with someone. I agree, but this is why we're able to attempt and not be considered tampering. That's true, but it would be cool if he signed with us again. Like, I wouldn't hate it, but like, I think it's happened like twice in history. That's not the point. They need more veterans on this team. I don't know. I think we're fine there. I mean, like, the Eagles' defense didn't really have that many the defensive line didn't have that many veterans. They had Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Huff, and what's his name? I can't think of his name. Jalen Carter. They did just fine. I mean, there are veterans on our team. You do have veteran leaders like Nick Bosa, who's going to be on that line, veteran. You got Fred Warner, veteran, right? You got Lenore at this point with his second contract, veteran. I disagree with that, man. Like, you don't need to have a veteran at a very specific spot to make sure that guy is good, right? You don't need that to happen. Great if you have veterans have on your defense, which we have. We have Nick Bosa, Lenore, Fred Warner. It's all right. We got veterans, man. We got veterans who are captains, by the way, too. So, and you got Robert Saleh, dude. I don't know. I'm not too worried about having to have a veteran at D tackle, because you do have a veteran at D end. You have your Turgos Matos. Your Turgos Matos is a veteran. So you got a veteran in your Turgos Matos. You got a veteran in Nick Bosa. You got a veteran in Fred Warner. You got a veteran in Lenore. You got two veterans on the D line. I think you're fine, man. I think Joe, is that you really just wanted your assurances now. You want to be reassured now. You want that to know that it's going to be okay now. And it's like, that's just not how it works, especially if you're trying to get younger. I mean, I understand that you want veterans, but we do have veterans on this defense. It sounds to me you're trying to think of something to try to be upset about this because you want answers now. You want resolve now. And I don't think that's fair to throw everything to the side that your complaints are. Your complaints are, we need veterans. When we have veterans on the defense. We have 4 of them, 2 of them on the defensive line. Just because we don't have a defensive tackle doesn't mean that the 2 defensive tackles that we drafted are not going to be good. You don't need to be reassured now. It's when it comes around after the draft and everything else, and you look at that roster, you think to yourself, okay, what are the holes now? If we get 2 defensive tackles that they expect to start in the draft, we're fine. We're absolutely fine in that position. You don't need a veteran D tackle in that spot. Hey, if you you know what, if you need a veteran D tackle to help you feel better, you do have Jordan Elliott. He's a veteran D tackle. So there's Clea Davis. He's practically a veteran at this point. Kevin Givens, he's practically a veteran at this point. You have options. It's just that your 2 starters probably going to be rookies, and that's fine. That's okay. We're going to get through this. We have to get through this draft, and then we'll be able to look at this roster and really actually analyze it. But we have bets, man. We're going to get through this. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. All right. Like free agency is really blown out of proportion. Like I can't tell you how often I can't tell you how many free agent players that we've gotten that's actually worked out. I think Charvarius Ward. I think Charvarius Ward is like the only like free agent we've ever gotten that's worked out. Now that I think about it, like Hargrave wasn't. We traded for Trent, so that doesn't count. We traded for CMC. I don't think there is a lot of free agents the 49ers signed that's actually worked out, to be honest with you, now that I think about it. So maybe it's a good thing they didn't decide to go out and spend a lot of money. I mean, most of their players are players they drafted. So, and they're all pros too. I understand more. They can't go 6-11. I don't think they're going to go. Oh, Sherman. That's a good one, Papa J. Sherman. That's a good one. So Sherman, Ward. They're good at their free agent corners. They got the free agent corner part down. Well, I guess Yadam wasn't that great, but still, yeah. So Sherman, Ward, solid pickups. I can't really think of any Omenahue, but I think Omenahue was like a late free agency signing. I think that was like a late signing. I don't think we signed him right away. I think he was out in the market for a while and then we picked him up, I think. So, I'm not talking about Charles Haley. Now you're going way back. I'm talking about recently. But yeah, I don't think we're going 6-11, man. That would be crazy. I actually do not think we're going 6-11. I'm so confident that we're not going to go 6-11. If we go less than 6-11, I would be absolutely shocked. All right. 6-11 is a pretty low bar, but all right, Joe, with the roster you have, okay, what is a satisfactory season for you? What is a satisfactory season where you're like, okay, I understand the situation. I love the fact that they're going young, but I do expect them to have a better season than 6-11. What is your compromise? What is your, okay, if they do this with what was given to them, I'd be satisfied. Like, what would be your satisfied season? And let's be real, not a Super Bowl, because they're not a Super Bowl contender, right? Let's be honest. Well, like, what's your satisfied 2025 season? For me being satisfied, I would say honestly, 10-7, 9-8, somewhere out there, making the playoffs. I could see that happening too. If they can make the wild card or go 9-8, 10-7, I say that's a W in my book. I'm satisfied with what they're working with, what they're trying to grow with. I get that. I'm going to say somewhere around there. But I think they can actually make the playoffs, considering that this schedule's easy. We have an elite defensive coordinator. We have really just three positions that need starters, 2 D tackles and DN. The rest is just like depth needs, really. I think this team can make the playoffs. I truly, honestly think that. But if I had to set the bar lower as a compromise, like meeting the team halfway with my expectations, I expect like the wild card round, but meeting my So my compromise would be 9-8, 10-7. So all right. So I want them to win 10 games. All right, Joe. Just trust. If they can win 10 games, man, I want to see you be happy. I want to see some happiness. I want to see some happiness from Joe. If they really are rebuilding, John and Kyle aren't really remotely on the hot seat because the year they aren't going to fire a coach year one of rebuild. I agree with that too, especially since Jed York, like you got to be more mad at Jed York because I'm pretty sure Jed York was the one that cuffed him. I'm pretty sure Jed York was the one that came around and was like, you can't spend any money. Here's your butt. I'm pretty sure they gave him a budget and was like, you can only spend this much money. Cut who you have to make it work. If you want to adjust the money or whatever, cut who you have to. But this is all the money I'm giving you to work with. So I'd be more upset with Jed in that situation. And Kyle and Lynch, the owner's already come out and said that Kyle's not on the hot seat, even if they have a bad season this year, because he's just that Kyle's going to have less power when it comes to emotional decisions. So it's more of a tandem now. It's now Kyle, Parag, and Lynch rather than Lynch, Parag, and then Kyle. Right. So it's supposed to be more of a dynamic. He's not going to get fired. I don't think he would get fired, even if it turned out to be a 6-11 season. But like, what's the context of that 6-11 season, right? Does the same thing happen? Does the same thing that happened in 2024 happen in 2025? Then I think they get a pass. I would give them a pass because that injuries are crazy. The personal tragedies are insane. The holdouts, I guess you kind of blame the front office on that one, but still, I give them kind of a pass if it's a 6-11. Because last year there was games that kind of slipped through our fingers, where they're just a couple plays away, an injured player away from possibly winning and stuff. So I think that I think there's a bit of a pass there. So, the last year Kyle's coached really bad. Injuries is not an excuse. Other teams have their old starters out. 49ers were the most injured team in the NFL. Literally, I saw an article. It's confirmed they were the most injured team in the NFL. Other teams had injuries where it was one-sided, like the Lions. I know a lot of people use the Lions as a reference. But the Lions didn't start getting injured until the second half of the season, and then all their stars coming out, and they still were allowing 30, 40 points while they had Ben Johnson and a solid their entire offense still healthy. So they had their entire offense who was healthy. Offensive line was healthy. Only thing they missed was Montgomery. That was it. That wasn't until like week 12, week 13 when they already made the playoffs. So for that is what happened with the 49ers is it started week 1. It went from week 1 on. So the entire season, it was practically cursed. Actually, it started in training camp. So I don't think it's fair to say that the Lions, they missed out 3 of their best players, but they missed out 3 of their best players on defense while they still had an elite offense, all their players ready to go. Now, I saw you bring up the Chiefs. The Chiefs has Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Brock Purdy is not Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid, as of right now, is better than Kyle Shanahan. Offensive line is better than what Kyle Shanahan had to work with. And again, they had Patrick Mahomes. They had one of the best defensive players fully healthy the entire season on that defensive line with a top defense. So whenever the Chiefs offense wasn't getting it done, they had a they had a very, very top end defense. I forgot what they ranked, but they had a very good defense. 49ers had a depleted defense with a crappy defensive coordinator. And then on offense, they had injuries galore with a very trash offensive line, up to the point where they had to get guys from the McDonald's drive-thru to protect Brock Purdy. So it's not nearly the same. I understand that injuries are not supposed to be an excuse, but there comes a point where it is. It's not like just one guy goes out, so it's next man up. It's not like 2 guys go out, it's next man up. It's like 11 to 22 guys go out. You're not winning football games. There are excuses when it comes to injuries. There are. The Lions defense. You bring up the Lions defense. saying that they were bad, right? Like you agree that Lions defense was bad. Now, you wouldn't say you give them an excuse by saying, okay, their defense is bad because they're missing every place. Nope, next man up. No excuses. No excuses. But they still allowed 30 points. They still allowed 35. They still allowed 40. So if the same thing that happens on defense happens on offense, you're not going to win football games. If you're going to have injuries on offense that are equivalent to what the Lions had on defense, where you are allowing 35 to 40 points, and then your offense is so depleted that it's impossible to score 30 to 35 points if you need to. And it's a miracle if you do, like we did against the Lions. You're not going to win football games. So if you're saying that the 30 to 35 and 40 makes sense because of their injuries, then it makes sense that the offense for the 49ers, the defense for the 49ers were as bad as it was. So, they're going to score like 40 to 50 points to win. Shootouts coming. I like 10 also. My satisfactory 25 season is winning a playoff game. Really? I'm not saying it's impossible, but one is setting the bar pretty high. That's that. I think it's a little unfair. Just play one team has lost all their stars in the playoffs. I already mentioned all that. And Chiefs were winning games by miracles. Defense, that's true, but it's also they had other things balancing them out, helping them out. Rice came back to watch his mom steal packages. I remember that too. I wonder if she got in trouble. No, I probably paid for it to get out of there. So, despite how bad we were last year, we still could have made the playoffs if we didn't choke both Ram games, the first Cardinals game and the second Seahawks game and the Lions game. Yeah, that Lions game, I blame Jake Moody. That Lions game was Jake Moody's fault because I understand that if we nailed those field goals, technically we would have won that game if all the field goals go in. But also, if he made some of those field goals, it would have turned 2-point games into one. Sorry, it would have turned 2-score games into 1-score games, changing scenarios, changing situations. So I don't think it's. I think the Lions game, I blame more on Jake Moody. The Seahawks game, yeah, that was crazy. Nick Bosa went out there, couldn't handle it. And then with Nick Bosa out, Geno Smith just did his thing and got that last-minute touchdown. The Cardinals game, yeah, I agreed. Let slip through his hands. The Rams game, you got to blame Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell was the reason why we lost that game for sure. Yeah, it would have been a lot closer potentially. And the second Rams game, I blame Debo. So, and the Lions had their entire offseason, and they didn't get injured on defense until halfway through the year, and the offense put up like 40 points. Yeah, they had one of the best offenses ever. They need to fix the training staff so we don't have many injuries. I agree. There has to be something there. But it happens like once in a – it happened in 2020, and then it happened in 2024. So hopefully that's a trend, and it's not until 2028, our next injury-riddled season. Hopefully. Wolfie, what do you say to the fan base that thinks Brock's not worth big money since he's not Patrick Mahomes' type? Do you agree with that statement? No, because not everyone's Patrick Mahomes. That's not fair. That's truly not fair. Like, you can only pay a quarterback if they're Patrick Mahomes? That's absolutely wild, dude. Because, like, even though Patrick Mahomes may not put up the numbers he needs to, but he wins games when he has to, minus the Eagles game. That game was his fault. But everyone and their mom would tell you that game was not at all a normal Patrick Mahomes game. Everyone and their mom would tell you that. Like, if you told somebody, if no one saw Patrick Mahomes play and you showed them just that Super Bowl game, they would be like, man, he sucks. But so take away the Eagles game and all that situation, man. He's clutch, okay? He constantly comes back, makes the throws that he has to and stuff, and he can turn. I love Brock Purdy, but he can't turn. He doesn't have the Brady, Patrick Mahomes effect where he can get like nobody washed wide receivers and get them the ball. You know, I love Purdy, I really do, but I don't think he's that level. But just because a quarterback is not that level doesn't mean you don't pay the guy. You pay the guy. I think you pay a guy if how well is he in the playoffs? Is he good in the playoffs? is he a good playoff quarterback? Right. I do like the sentiment that can he come back from a deficit? I don't think it's the end all be all, but he's proven that. So if you want to hinge a quarterback on that, he comes back from deficits, especially in the playoffs. He wins playoff games. And is he accurate? Can he make plays off script? He does do that. Does he elevate a play when it falls apart? He does do that. Can he win big games? Yes, he can. So you pay a quarterback if he can do those things. You don't pay a quarterback if he's Patrick Mahomes. If that's the case, then I'm sorry. I love Josh Allen, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. If he was, probably would have won a Super Bowl by now. I'm sorry. Being realistic here. Lamar Jackson, if he was Patrick Mahomes, would have won a Super Bowl by now. But he got paid a contract. Josh Allen got paid a contract. Everyone else got paid a contract. You pay someone how well they do in the playoffs, how well they do in big games, and can they turn nothing plays into something? Brock Purdy does all three of those things. You pay that guy. You pay him. Playoff quarterbacks do not fall out of trees. Playoff quarterbacks are hard to find. Jordan Love, not a playoff quarterback. Well, as of right now, he's not. Justin Herbert, definitely not Justin Herbert. Who else? Trevor Lawrence, all got paid. Not playoff quarterback. Dak Prescott got paid, highest paid quarterback, not a playoff quarterback. So these good quarterbacks that are really good in the playoffs don't fall out of trees. So, because I tell you what, man, like with Jimmy G, I was scared that we were going to lose a playoff game because of Jimmy G, right? I think that to myself. But with Brock Purdy heading to a playoff game, I don't get scared. I don't get concerned. I get excited. I actually get thrilled. I get thrilled for playoff games. I get thrilled for big games when Brock Purdy's out there. With Jimmy G, I'm like, how do we survive this game? How good is our run game going to be this time around? That's how I get with certain quarterbacks. Brock Purdy, he's not Patrick Mahomes, but he's still a good playoff quarterback. He's a clutch playoff quarterback. The only way the 49ers can go to the playoffs is everybody needs to stay completely healthy. So far, nobody can stay healthy anymore. That's relatively true. That's relatively. Salvador in the house. That is relatively true. I'm kind of suspicious. That's suspicious. That's suspicious. You know what I mean? You know that sound from TikTok? That's suspicious. Whoever's in charge of the training staff, because our injuries just keep stacking up and stacking every season. Yeah, it's definitely something they need to address. You're not wrong, Boyd. It's like we can't be losing players like that. It's physical. It's a physical play. That's why they switch into finesse, pass off, zero to do with training staff. I don't know, man. Stop feeding them salad. There's a guy who's like, there's a reason why people get hurt all the time. It's because you're eating salad. It's because you're eating this. You're not eating junk food. You're not eating meat. There's some, I think it's Ocho, and there's like some other people are saying that as well. Do not draft kickers or punters. If that happens, Lynch and Kyle need to be fired. I don't think they're going to do that, man. I don't think they're going to do that. I think there's no. All right, I'm not saying it was smart of them to get Jake Moody in the third, but there is no kicker as hyped as Jake Moody in this draft. So I'd be shocked if they really honestly did that. Should Ayuk be traded? Maybe. I mean, no. I would say no right now just because his value is pretty low. And I think you should just commit to him, man. You already signed the contract. Just do it. Just stick with the guy and see what he can do. I like Ayuk. I think Ayuk can come back from his injury. And if he's the same guy like he was in 2023, then it's totally worth that contract because he was a number one wide receiver with Brock Purdy. Him and Brock Purdy were quite the connection. And I just think that's valuable, So I wouldn't love it. But I will say, though, if they do trade him, I understand why they did. I mean, you don't know if he's going to play week one. You got Pearsall. You got Cowan to work with. You got Demarcus Robinson, who is your IU clone kind of type wide receiver. So you got a 2-year rental of Ayuk essentially, because that's what Robinson, but what's his name? Demarcus Robinson. He's a red zone route running kind of type wide receiver. He's an Ayuk type wide receiver. So the 49ers got insurance of an Ayuk type wide receiver, so they can always draft a guy and develop him. Maybe if they want to do that, if they were to move off of him, it's not a bad time to do it because, like I said, you got Demarcus Robinson who can do Ayuk's job, and he's really good in the red zone. So you kind of have a rental that kind of helps you work with that. But I would much rather not do that. I'd much rather keep Ayuk. I really honestly would, especially if you were to trade Ayuk. Then it would. If you traded Ayuk, it would scream rebuild to people, and that would just be. I think it would just, like, people are already panicking now. I think it would just cause way more havoc as it is. So, but Demarcus Robinson, I think, if Ayuk's not ready week 1, is pretty much an Ayuk clone for 2 years. Why do you say Lynch but say Kyle's first name? 20 years later, I can still call people by the last name. I don't know. I think because Shanahan's a lot longer than Kyle. That's probably why. If everyone was a conehead, then only 4 QBs we paid $40 million plus this year. If everyone was a conehead, we would have no Juszczyk right now. We have no Fred Warner. We have no Nick Bosa. We would have no Trent Williams. We would have no Brock Purdy. We would have no CMC. We would have no Ayuk. We have no Pearsall. We would have no Juwan Jennings. We would have no Cowing. We would have no George. Definitely would not have no George Kittle. We would not have anyone on this team. We wouldn't have Kyle Shanahan. We probably would have someone like Doug Peterson or who else? We probably have like Doug Peterson right now, or I'm trying to think of a coach. And we probably have Joe Shane as our GM right now, and our head coach would be Fox. What's his name? John Fox. That's who we have right now. So that's what it would be like right now. I feel a people's elbow coming. All right, it would cost them more to trade Ayuk. Too much dead cap already. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not the biggest fan of trading him. I say that's because Kyle has too long of a long. Exactly, that's exactly what I said. Then why ask the question, Joe? That's why I told you the stats. Leave the channel. Blah blah blah. I say to everyone over. That's why. Please tell me what washed unknown receivers Mahomes has elevated Brady. I'll give you. Juju Smith-Schuster. What's his name? Kadarius Toney, technically. That 1 year with Kadarius Toney. Who's that other guy? There's another speedster guy he worked with. That was pretty good. What's his name? Not Rondale Robinson. There's another speedster he worked with. Technically, theoretically, he did get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins clears but day drops balls now. So you're lazy GM. We don't know how to blah blah blah. Hey, let's not hate on each other, man. Let's stop hating on each other. I lost my earbuds, so I can't hear till later. Steve-O, oh no, Wolfie, Poggy is going to come after you for your Herbert take. Yeah, Poggy's Poggy. I don't know if we'll be doing another show with Poggy. Probably not for a long time. He's kind of ghosting me right now. He says he's really busy, and then sometimes he'll say he's out of town or whatever. I think he just doesn't. I don't think he likes it when I disagree with him. I don't think he likes it. I don't think he likes the pushback. So, I think that's what it is. So we probably will never see Poggy again. If not, it'll be for a long time. He's one of my best friends. I care about him a lot, but I don't think he doesn't like when I tell him like, yeah, dude, yeah, you're pissed off. Yeah, you don't like that. You're mad. He doesn't like that. He's like, no, I don't care what anyone thinks. And then if you tell him that you care about what people think, he gets upset. And so I think that's he doesn't like that. So yeah. And then I'll call him out on something. I'm like, you literally said that. And he's like, I didn't mean it like that, And so I just don't think he could. I don't mean to talk shit about Paul. I would say this is his face, but technically, I don't think he could take the heat. I don't think he can take the heat of being wrong. Like, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I can take the heat. I'll admit to it and stuff, but I don't think he could take the heat. Also, why are all the Purdy haters forgetting about the we paid Jimmy G record-breaking money that proceeded to go to Super Bowl season later? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We paid Jimmy G at the time, which was the most cap for a quarterback, the highest paid quarterback, and we still managed to go to a Super Bowl later on, man. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Get rid of Brendel. Brock's hated too much. Hey, 2 takes right there. Me and Joe right there. We're eye to eye, man. We're eye to eye. Overpaid stronger QB, even if I think he wanted Kyle Trask one time. He's like, Kyle Trask could be an elite quarterback. That didn't happen. There was another quarterback he said was going to be elite, and that didn't happen. Terror Dome in the house. Chad Ochocinco believes in McDonald's as a great guy. He does. That's crazy, dude. Not everyone has the same genes, man. Not everyone goes to Kohl's, all right, and gets those durable jeans. All right, not everyone. Some people's genes are from Goodwill. Some people's genes are from Kohl's. Some people's genes are from high-end stores where their jeans can never be ripped or get stained or whatever. You know, people get their jeans from different places, man. One, I agree. Everyone that trolls the 49ers will fall off a cliff when they pay Brock. Don't know anything about the 49ers. Yeah, they're losing their freaking fracking minds. I'm going to love it. I'm going to make a short just being super excited. I'm preparing myself for all the comments. Now the consequences this year, the madness bracket doesn't suck, but I tried. DeMarcus Armstrong, yeah. Will they sign Brock this offseason? Oh yeah, definitely will. If they don't, if they don't, that's chaos. That's chaos walking, dude. It's a different. Like you thought Ayuk was bad. If they don't sign him, that's gonna be even worse. I'm tired of talking about narratives. It's about what's best for the team, right? Exactly. See, Jake knows what's up. Jake's smart, man. Jake's young, man, but he's pretty smart. It's pretty smart. Shout out to Jake, man. Shout out to Jake. No, Kittle, he would have been traded years ago. Yeah, he would. That guy that shall not be named, he would trade him. He wanted to trade him back in 2021 and 2020. So did I. Worst take I ever had. It's my most shameful take, man. I would not trade BA for anything lower than a third. If that's too high, then he's not getting traded. Agreed. I wouldn't do that. A second round pick, I think that's solid. That's solid. We need trench help 110%. And I think we're gonna get it. I think reinforcements are coming, Joe. Until he bought those shoes. Grant's been nicer to Kittle ever since he bought him those shoes. And he's been nicer to Pearsall since he offered to shoot hoops with him. He switched up. Oh, yeah, he's all about that. Scratch. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. He really honestly is. Like, if you don't, I'm not trying. Okay, I'm going to skip all the comments about that, but just for the rest of it, like, I have noticed this, that he cannot take jokes towards him, obviously, since use check, cannot take someone disagreeing with him. Like, I've seen someone disagree with him a couple times. He gets defensive. He can't handle it. He needs people to agree with him, and if you scratch his back by getting him shoes, try to be friendly with him, he'll throw you a bone, and then you'll suddenly become his favorite player. If it was there, Chip Dale's in the locker room, none of those guys were good with Mahomes. They were just meh. Won a Super Bowl with him, though, so elevate him to enough. John Ross retired before the regular season in 2023, I think. Why? I don't know. I feel bad for John Ross, man. That kind of sucks. He was way overdrafted just because of speed, but yeah. I want to know the Bengals were playing Madden, because in Madden that was 99 speed. I want to know how Kittle knew everyone's shoe size. For real. You know, okay. I'll give Kittle a benefit of the doubt, man. Maybe he knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy that can look at feet and know their exact size. So what happened was Kittle went up to every single reporter and took a picture of their feet. What will make people happy with the 11th pick this year? That's actually a good one. I think a D tackle. I just think a D tackle would make everyone happy. A D tackle. I think it's just a D tackle. Just get a D tackle you believe in. Just get a D tackle that you think will start day one. It could be Walter Nolan. It could be Kenneth Grant. It could be Derek Harmon. As long as that dude starts day one, I think everyone will be happy with that. There are most fans who would be happy with like Amand Amembu. I would not, just because D tackle is more important. Maybe best a player available falls to them, like somehow Abdul Carter falls there. I think someone will be happy about that. If Travis Hunter fell there, maybe Mason Graham, I think a lot of people will be happy about. But I think the safest thing to make everyone happy would definitely be a D tackle. And I forgot to Terror Dome in the house. Forgot to give you a shout out. My bad. What would make people mad? Joe Boyd, you got some great questions, man. These are some good questions. What would make people mad at 11? I think Tyler Warren. I know a lot of people love Tyler Warren, but I think Tyler Warren would be bad, would make people mad. Calvin Banks would make me mad, certainly. A wide receiver like Luther Burden. I like Luther Burden and I like McMillan, but I don't know. I just feel like D tackle is too important. I feel like that happens. There'll be backlash to that. Definitely a quarterback. That would do it. Genty. I think Genty would do it. I think people are upset if Genty went there at 11. Linebacker. I know a lot of people like Jalen Walker, but I think Jalen Walker might upset some people. Any pick will be wrong. Notice some reporters only ask content questions. I just don't want this team to have another long season. I think we made everything long last time, which is all the injuries, tragedies, and everything. I think that's what really made it wrong. So, Last Second Sports is a Brock hater. Oh yeah, 110%. He does not like Brock Purdy. He does not like Brock Purdy. I love Coles. Have not been to one in a while. Some people have Coles genes, man. Some people have Coles genes. This is regarding how you talk about trading or signing certain players would give bad narratives. I don't think we should react to signing because of narratives. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I think Huff's family said they listened to Grant said that letting Huffunga go would be a huge mistake, and he loved Jimmy Ward because he said he was honest. Oh, yeah, he was obsessed with Jimmy Ward because Jimmy Ward the reason why he loved Jimmy Ward was because he went on his show. He had to interview Jimmy Ward, and Jimmy Ward told him, "Hey man, just keep being yourself, man. Just keep being an asshole." This is word for word what he said. Keep being an asshole, man. You know, it's freaking hilarious, dude. You know, and yeah. So, Joe, happy at 11. Graham or Membu, Matt 11, Tyler Warren, or Will Johnson. Come on, Strawberry. We need a third corner, and Will Johnson, the future All-Pro, man. Come on. What up, Papa? Government Wi-Fi. They're going cheap nowadays like the 49ers, as long as they work out. Joe Boyd, long snapper is a LSS is a code occultist. That's why. Terror Dome. I could make a few jokes, but I'm going to choose not to. I appreciate it if it's tame, you know. No politics. I appreciate it. Thank you. Keeping it clean. I appreciate you, one. We keep going after free agents. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. The only thing I'm kind of bummed about is I'm gonna give it time. Strawberry is right. You know, I'm gonna give it time and wait for like reports to come out on Azeez Ojulari because he was cheap and I think he probably would have helped our team. So I'm gonna give it time for there to be like reports that we try to get him, but he'd rather go to the Eagles. I'm gonna give that time. The only thing I'm disappointed on is missing out on Azeez and the weird this is not signing a free agent, but like the weird cutting and signing of Juszczyk. That's like the only thing that weirds me out. The missing out on Azeez and then the weird thing with Juszczyk. That's about it. Leonard Floyd, maybe missing out Leonard Floyd, it's fine. But like when it comes to like free agents, there's no one I really am like. There's really nobody that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed out. Well, I guess Drew Dahlman, but they would have to spend a lot of money to get him. And I think Jed York strapped their hand, cuffed him and said, you can't do that. So I'm trying to think like affordable wise. There's really nobody I think they missed out on except for maybe Azeez. And that's about it. I just don't want a cornerback at 11. I hear you, but it's Will Johnson, man. He's a future all-pro corner. We would have 3 number 1 corners immediately. I know it's terrible. It's terrible. Don't draft. I know it's terrible to draft a corner there, but I would be giddy because it's like we got 3 amazing corners. Our nickel defense is going to be insane. Every time we get someone in the first question is, who? That's what I was like with Pearsall. When we got Pearsall, I was like, who the fuck is that? I was like, who the heck is that? Also, I'm trading back if Membu, Graham, or Carter aren't there at 11. Oh, you love Membu? Okay, I like Membu too, but I just think D tackle is more important. If Graham's there, I guess. I mean, he technically would start day 1. I don't think he's going to be like the super elite guy or anything, but I do think he'll be good, right? So that's all that matters. As long as we get a D tackle who starts day 1, that's all that matters. I liked Ojulari since last midseason, especially since we were connected to him at the time, and then we missed out on him to a trade situation there. But I would like to have gotten a flyer on him. I mean, $4 million, offer him what, $6, $5 million? Why not, man? You could be that strapped. Membu, good choice for big in a pickle draft, Wolfie. He hasn't drafted Membu, or I would. He hasn't drafted. I got all of his. These are all the players he's drafted. These are all the players that we'll have to get into that mock draft now, guys. So if you guys got comments, I apologize. But speaking of mock draft, hour in, we got to jump into that mock draft. But this is all the players that Larry Krueger has drafted. If they have a mark next to him, I know I got like kindergarten psycho killer like handwriting. Ignore that. But look, these are all the players that he's drafted multiple times. So these are players. So like I went through all his mock drafts, and there are a few players he's drafted multiple times. So we're gonna have to go through that. He has not drafted Membu. There may be, I'm confident that I missed about 1 or 2 drafts that he did with other co-hosts. And when I went to go do those drafts, those mock drafts, I'm not counting the co-host mock drafts he does. I'm not counting the ones that, like, for example, John Chapman chose. So like if Larry went, he picks that guy's on the list. And then the next pick would be John Chapman. He picks a guy I'm not putting on that list. Only players that Larry Krueger himself has drafted. There will be players that he's like, there will be players where he says, oh, I love this guy. Oh, I like this guy. Oh, I think this guy's amazing. He'll say stuff like that, but he has not drafted them. And so we're going to go ahead and try to get all of those draft picks. So let's go ahead and actually do that now. Get that out of the way. The Pig in a Pickle draft, mock draft, coming up right now. NFL Draft Simulator, clicking on it right now. Zooming in. Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is a very specific player. That Larry Krueger drafts every single time. There's one time I think he didn't draft him. But there's one particular player he drafts every single time. He has to draft this player. And by saying that, I'm pretty sure this is his favorite player in the draft. And you guys will actually not guess who it is. It's not Abadejo, I think that's his name. He's drafted him 3 times. There's a player he's drafted 4 times, and that's the most he's drafted a player. And you guys are not going to guess who it is. Because it's rather under the radar. It's not Lampkin. He's only drafted Lampkin 1 time. Again, I think there's 1 or 2 drafts I may have missed. But I went through like almost all of his mock drafts. And there's one player in particular. You guys are not going to get it. You're not going to get it, dude. I promise you. Yeah, he did not draft Membu. He has not drafted Membu. Brandel definitely has some kind of information on Forrester. He does. He definitely does. Wolfie, by the looks of your penmanship, if you don't make it to this content creator, you definitely make it as a doctor. If Brendel is the starting center, I can't take this team seriously. It's going to be hard for sure. It's going to be definitely hard. Pause. If you're retooling, might as well start someone new for experience. I agree. Just might as well. It is a running back. I'll tell you what, there is a very specific player. It's a running back. He has not drafted Joshua Farmer. I think he did once. That's why I'm pretty sure he's drafted Farmer one time, but I don't think it was him that drafted Farmer. I think it was John Chapman who drafted Farmer. I don't think he drafted Farmer. That's the thing. Like, it could be players that he loves, but if his co-host picked it, I did not count it. So I went through his own mock drafts, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, which he currently has out now. And then I watched like 5 other mock drafts he's done with co-hosts. And this is what I came out with. There you go. It is Monagai. He's drafted Monagai 4 times. 4 times in the 4th round and 5th round. Now, I will tell you, I'm giving it away here. This is what he compared this running back to. He compares Kyle Monaghy to Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders. That's his comp. This dude, do you guys remember Cody Schrader from last year? Remember him? Like, he's obsessed with that guy. And he's like, dude, I see Emmitt Smith, Frank Gore. I see all those guys there. Oh, my God. Good late night, Wolf Feed, everyone in the house. Michael in the house. Good to see you. And now I don't even know what Cody Schrader is doing right now. I think he's still in the Rams. I could be wrong, but yeah, he's got Kyle Monaghy. He says he's compared to Barry Sanders. He's got the greatest contact balance. He does have 0 fumbles, so that's beneficial, but has a 4.6 speed. I'll say this real quick. I think that if you like Jordan Mason, if you love Jordan Mason, Kyle Monaghy, I keep messing with his name, is Jordan Mason, but I think will be better. I actually genuinely do like this running back that he's in love with. This running back I actually do like a lot. He reminds me of Jordan Mason. He's got the same speed as him. Jordan Mason has the same kind of cutback, ball carrier vision as him. It's almost like a bar-for-bar clone of Jordan Mason. When I watch him play, he's exactly like Jordan Mason. Like, it's kind of trippy when you watch him. Except for, I would say that Kyle has better balance for sure. Like, he stays on his feet. He's pretty good. He's pretty damn good. So I like Dylan Sampson too. I think he's way more of a pass catching running back, but that's perfect for Kyle Shanahan's system. I like him too. He's very fast, very good pass catcher, but he needs to get heavier and a little bit stronger. He's a bit small. So, breaking news: DB Syrian Neal signed to the 49ers on a 2-year deal. What? And I was trying to get back Greenlaw. Who that? Another special teams guy? Does he block better than Jordan Mason? Who is a DB? Does he block? I actually don't know that about him, the Kyle guy. That is definitely something to look into, though. I don't know who that is. DB Syrian Neal. Yep, 3 minutes ago. All right, so Syrian Neal. He was born in 1994. He's 30 years old. 5th round, 154th pick in 2018. He's only ever started one game. And that was in 2019. for Buffalo. And then in Miami, he didn't start a game, but he does have 2 pass deflections, 2 and 0 tackles. He has 2 pass deflections last year and 9 solo tackles. So yeah, he's just a special teams ace, another special teams player. I'm telling you right now, our special teams better be phenomenal. Like, I mean, the amount of investment that we have towards freaking fracking special teams players, our special teams better be fixed, because the only thing we don't have right now is a kick returner. I don't think we have a kick returner. I think that's the only thing we don't have. Yeah, Sirianni played 373 of his 431 snaps on special teams in 2024. So he is a special teams guy. It doesn't tell me how much money he made. But I mean, if he's been playing nothing but special teams that much, if he's been playing that much special teams, he's got to be relatively good at it. He's got to be relatively good at it if he's doing that much on special teams. So, maybe our special teams is going to be like the best special teams in the league, man. It's got to be, man. We got Pinnock, Grant, Grizzard or Grizzord, whatever his name is, and what's his name? And now this guy, that's 4 special team aces. The blocking tight end we got, Luke Farrell's also a special teams guy. Man, we got to have a good special teams. I'm expecting some serious. We got Weeks, who's supposed to be a good long snapper. I'm expecting a lot, man. That's some high. I mean, that's some high expectations now. My friend said 49ers need to draft the Arizona running back. My friend on a junior at ASU. Yeah, I would like Scatterbo. I think Scatterbo would be dope. Special teams is going to be number 1, defense number 32, offense top 10 with a number 20 O-line. Possibly. I think our defense will be better. I think it's going to be better than expected if we get those 2 D tackles. I think, especially with Robert Saleh back there. I told you every time we get a player, players in free agency, Owl players in free agency. I like that reference. That's a good reference there, Owl players. That's actually hilarious. I've heard of this guy. Oh, he's heard of him. Okay. This guy's played for Buffalo. He's played for Miami this previous year. But he's supposed to be a good special teamer. He's supposed to be good at it. So, got a lot of experience. It's starting to get like the movie, like The Replacements. Hey, if they can make it happen, if they can make Moneyball happen, man, if they can go full Brad Pitt, props to them. I mean, like I said, my expectations right now is just a playoff game. But if they get like 10 wins, 9 wins, I think that's a W in my book. Do you think our special teams would be phenomenal with Brian Schneider? No. You can give him like every MVP of special teams and put him on there, and he may be like the 25th or 24th special teams coordinator. He's freaking atrocious. Our major league with Brock Wild Wing Purdy has a very average coverage grade, so he could be a backup for either outside corner spot. Okay. I'll take it. Less time falling in love with players. Niners going to draft Terry more film work of the NFL. Without a doubt. I mean, I got to say, man, this free agency has a lot of 49ers content creators who watch film of the draft and stuff like that. It's gonna make content creators work for it. I mean, because when a team has like 4 or 5 draft picks and they kind of get all their needs in free agency or they get things in free agency, it's kind of easier to kind of like look at players in the draft. But now as a 49ers content creator, I'm sure as Terradome probably could agree to this or not. I don't know if you'll disagree or not, but like now you understand the urgency of how important this draft is. Like there's almost an urgency as a content creator to have to try to like find the gems, find those great guys and be like, hey, this guy would be great for our team. This guy would be great for our team. Like the draft compared to other years have just become more, it's just significantly more important than it's ever been, I don't think. Like maybe back in 2018 probably was important, just as important, I think, because you're rebuilding a team and that's how important the draft is. Well, if they nail this draft, man, they probably don't even need like I mean this. Like, if they can just get like 4 starters, this team is fine. This team, if anything, can. I'm not saying will be, but if they get 4 really good starters, 2 D tackles, 1 good D, if they get 2 good D tackles and 1 good D end, and then like 1 good corner, I think that defense could be elite under Robert Saleh. I think it can. I know linebacker is relatively important, but I think that third corner, if you nail that third corner and you nail the 2 D tackles and that D end, I think Robert Saleh can work with Jair Brown, the reserve safeties that we got, and the linebackers we have, and actually turn it around for them. I think the offense, by the way, is kind of relatively the same without having to force feed it to Debo, that I think this offense could score 25 points a game still. Because last year they scored 22.9 points a game last year. And without Debo and actually be able to scheme it up this time around, I think this team could score more points than they did last year. And if this defense can just be better than they were last year with Nick Sorensen, with this easy schedule, it's looking up. It is looking up. It's looking up. All right. I started looking at art to October. Damn, you've been keeping up with that. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I got love Major League as a kid. Watched us retraded for Debo, the best kick return in the league. He is phenomenal. He probably is the best kick returner in the league, but he's not worth that much money he was getting paid. But yeah, he was. That's one thing he never dropped, was his ability to kick return. He was fracking phenomenal. I watched film after Niners draft, so I don't waste my time to fall in love. Yeah, but that feeling when they get your guy, though, dude, is like that feeling when they draft a guy that you have is such a good feeling. Juan and CC will need to break down film of his kick returns to the Niners to show what he can do for the Niners for sure. On a side note, we're working to extend Trey Hendrickson. Okay, all right. I heard that. Maybe, man. But you guys will kind of be in the same boat with the 49ers. You guys need to nail a draft. Probably maybe a defensive draft for you guys. And I have noticed, I think the 49ers aren't the only team that's going into this draft where they're going like, where it seems to me they're going to go just gun-ho on defense. Because like the Eagles got rid of a lot of defensive players as if they're preparing to draft defensive players. The Bengals should go all defensive players. Bills should go defensive players. Ravens, I think they let go of a few players. They should go mainly defensive players. There's a lot of teams that I think are preparing to go defense in the draft this year, which kind of sucks for the 49ers because they're going to miss out some players that they expect to get in the third, second, maybe in the first round. Good late night, everyone. Eagles got good signs today. Yep, they got Azeez Ojulari. He's definitely worth a flyer. I mean, $4 million on someone like that, that's definitely worth it. Like, even if he doesn't work out, that's fine. Will Johnson, please. You'll probably have to trade up for him. Actually, you know what? He might potentially drop because people are concerned that Will Johnson has injury-prone issues, but I don't think he does. I think he's had like one major injury, which is turf toe. But outside of that, he's played 11 games, 12 games. He's had some injuries where he had to leave a game a couple times, but that's about it. So Bills need defensive depth. Yeah, this is the draft to do it, though, man. This is definitely the draft to do it. So, all right, let's get into the Larry Krueger draft. Let's do it. Let's go. This is the Larry Krueger draft. Heading up. Let's do slow here. Entering the draft. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Boop and a boop and a boop. All right, pa. All right. Let me get rid of this screen here. Let me get rid of this ad. All right. So I got all the players that Larry Krueger has drafted. Now, the only players this man has ever drafted in the first round, from what I see, is Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant. Who else has he drafted? There's another player. I think he's done Jalen Walker one time the first, but I don't want to say he has. I think that was in the second round. There's another player he drafted. Nope. So he's only drafted Walter Nolan and Kenneth Grant in the first round. I thought there was another player. Mason Graham. There you go. So he's drafted Mason Graham. So he's drafted Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, and Walter Nolan every single draft that I've looked at. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then the other drafts that he was in, he picked second in those drafts, so he didn't get a chance to pick first. So, all right. Let's do it to it. Let's fly like a bird to the first round. Here we go. Starting the Larry Krueger, all Larry Krueger draft. Oh, and Membu is there too, man, but you can't draft him. Will Johnson's there. Green, Colston, Loveland's flying up draft boards. Kenneth Grant. So it's between Kenneth Grant and Walter Nolan here. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to trade back a little bit. I would be shocked if we trade back. I'm telling you guys right now, if we trade back to like 17 with the Bengals, then we could miss out on a Grant and Nolan. And if we do that, we have to draft somebody. We would have to draft somebody else that he's drafted. The next guy he's drafted, believe it or not, he's never drafted Gray Zabel, which is shocking. I was actually shocked by that. He's never drafted Gray Zabel. I'm really shocked by that. We would have to draft, if we miss out on those two guys. Damn, who's the next guy? Trey Harris. He's drafted Trey Harris in the second round. Did you guys know that? He's drafted Trey Harris. He has drafted Trey Harris in the second round. And he has said this about Trey Harris. He says that Trey Harris is the best wide receiver in the draft. He said that Trey Harris is the best wide receiver in the draft. And he picked him at pick 43. I think I should just make sure I get our guy, because if we miss out on Nolan and we miss out on Booker, on Grant, I think that'd be bad. But I'd like to get another pick. I would like to get another pick here. I'm gonna do it. I don't think both those. I don't think those guys are gonna be gone. Give us that third round pick. You accept that? Oh, you're gonna accept that? Okay. And a fourth. All right, cool. Appreciate it. A third and a fourth to move up. Let's do it. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you freaking fracking do it, man. Oh my God, dude. Thank God. Kenneth Grant is gone, dude. Oh my goodness gracious, dude. That got me scared. That got me scared, man. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna draft a bum at 17. All right. You guys traded. All right. You guys got Kenneth Grant. So Cincinnati traded up and they took Kenneth Grant right in front of us. But hey, we still get a guy that we want. We still get Walter Nolan here, and we got a third and a fourth. I'm almost tempted to trade back again, but I need to make sure we get our guy. So I'm going to draft Walter Nolan in the Larry Krueger draft. Can't draft Harmon because Larry Krueger has not drafted Derek Harmon. So I cannot draft him. The only remaining projected first round draft pick that's left is Walter Nolan. He's the only one remaining. Yeah, so I'm going to have to draft Walter Nolan here at 17. There we go. All right, not bad at all. And the rest from here on out, guys, it's going to be a bummer because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like a lot of these picks that he made. A lot of them are like third rounders, fourth round type guys. He reaches a lot. He does not care where a player is. So, all right. So we got the only D tackles we got remaining on this board are J.J. Pegas, Ty Robinson, Mason Grant's taken, Kenneth Grant's taken, and Aeneas Peebles, which are all fourth-round draft pick D tackles. So this is going to be kind of tough. So with the 43rd pick in this draft, he doesn't have Ibuka, Marion Hampton, doesn't draft Maxwell Hairston, Trey Harrison, Jack Sawyer, Watts, Milroe. I can go Trey Harris. I can go Trey Harris this early. What else has he got? Doesn't draft Prinsley, Higgins, Ewers, Caleb, Beck. I could draft Fenton Jr. here because he's drafted Fenton Jr. before. Norman Lott. God, I'm trading back from 40. I'm trading back again just because. And we're going to trade back with. There's just so many more players back here. Because the next D tackle that's comes up is Ty Robinson. And D end wise, the only ones left is Abadejo. Kenneth Kennard, that's right, it's Kenneth Kennard, and I can get him later on. He has not gotten Scatabo. He has not drafted Cam Scatabo, which is I'm actually shocked by that one too. He has drafted Anthony Belton 3 times. He has drafted J.J. Pegas 3 times. He has drafted Abadejo 3 times. He's drafted Kyle Mononge 4 times, Jalen Walker twice, Emory Jones twice. Those are all the players that he's drafted multiple times, and Walter Nolan, if you want to know that, and Walter Nolan. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to trade back just because there's a lot of players. I can probably get more draft picks and get more of these players in the later rounds because it's a little too early to get players like this. Because all these players are like back-end third-round players. I think it's just too soon. I guess Trey Harris. I could get Trey Harris, but I don't think wide receiver is that important. I don't know about that. What do you guys think? Should I draft Trey Harris? He thinks Trey Harris is the best wide receiver in this draft, is what he says. So he thinks Trey Harris is better than Buka. He thinks Trey Harris is better than Burden Jr. Burden the third. He thinks he's better than McMillan. I think it's wild. But Trey Harris, Papa J says, I draft Trey Harris. What picks do I have? 75, 81, and 100. Really, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's supposed to be like a 5th wide receiver according to 6'2", 205. He has 60 receptions for 1,030 yards, 7 reception TDs, and 17.2 yards a catch. Has a 4.54 40-yard speed, which is not the greatest. Has a 38.5 vert, which is not bad. Meh arms. His comps are Xavier Hutchinson, Brandon Rice, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. You're giving me flashbacks. If Larry thinks so, then yes. Well, he thinks all these players are great, and I should draft him now. So that's the thing. I like Larry, but I don't always like his draft picks out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and trade back. I'm not happy with Trey Harris, dude. I'm just not. I don't think wide receiver is that important. So I'm gonna trade back to where is 43? It's Tampa Bay. We'll fall back 10 spots. I don't think he's the best. That's too much. We got to give up more. Fall back 10 spots. You're tripping. You're on crack. You're on crack cocaine. Green Bay. Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers. I'd much rather have a sooner pick than that. Buffalo. We'll trade with Buffalo. They got 2 second-round picks. So let's not trade Buffalo. Cincinnati. Don't got anything going on there. Well, I think I'm gonna have to go Tampa, I guess. I'm gonna do Denver one more time. Give me a third. And I'll give you a fifth. There you go. A fifth. All right. Works for me. All right, we'll do that. We'll trade back. Boom. All right, we're trading back. We're trading back. If Trey Harris is there, is Trey Harris going to be that? Trey Harris is there at 51, pick 51, and he's ranked 51. He doesn't have any of these guys on his list. So Trey Harris at this point feels like destiny. How many thirds? We got a lot of thirds here. Edge, Jack Sawyer, Prince, Kennard. I might draft Kennard. Offensive tackle. Emory Jones is out there. Tight end. The only tight end he's drafted is Fenton Jr. and Mitchell Evans. Wide receiver, Trey Harris. We could go Demetrius Knight here. Man. I don't know. He thinks he's just good all-around wide receiver, Trey Harris is. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm thinking about reaching for Demetrius Knight. Because I know he's drafted Demetrius Knight one time. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pass on Trey Harris just because I don't think wide receiver is that important. I need a guy who's good on defense, who can start right away, be impactful. And the next edge he picks is Kennard, and that's who I'll pick with the 75th pick. And then linebacker, I'll take Demetrius Knight. So should I trade back again? It's a lot of trading backs right now just because of the picks. God, dude, he just makes – all right, I'm trading back again with – what's Detroit doing? Accept that trade? Okay. All right, we're falling back. Next pick, I promise I'll pick somebody. Next pick, I promise. I promise. All right, here we go. We're taking Demetrius Knight right here, right now. Let's go. Demetrius Knight. Bam. We got Demetrius Knight. We got linebacker, a D tackle. All right, here's where it's going to get crazy, guys. This is where it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy right here because we got a lot of picks coming up. And look at all these picks, the third we got. Reject. Ooh, but no. Reject and reject. Okay, so edge. I like Kyle Kennard better than Oladejo. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I like Kyle better. If I had to pick between the two, I'd much rather have Kennard than the guy from UCLA. He's got – who else has he got here? I could draft Fenton here. because he's drafted Fenton Jr. And Kyle Kennard. I want to make sure we get our guy. I can't be messing around. So I'm going to take Kyle Kennard here. SC's over the Pac-10. I'm going to take Kyle Kennard. He is, according to Larry Krueger, Kyle Kennard is SEC Defensive Player of the Year type player. And if he is that type of guy, I'm going to take him now. All these players are reaches. It's absolutely crazy, but I'm going to take Kyle Kennard. Bam! And the all Larry Krueger draft, that's who we take. All right, next up, reject. Okay, so we got our D tackle. We got an edge. We got a linebacker, so we still need another D tackle. We need a corner at some point. I would like to get another edge if I could. And then tight end would be nice. And then maybe an offensive lineman would be cool too. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Is he taken? Damn it. Oh, my God. I forgot. Oh, my Lord. Oh, when was he drafted? When was he drafted? All right, Josh Counts 75. When did he go? Where is he at? Jared Wilson. He's drafted Jared Wilson before. I totally forgot about that center. But it doesn't matter. Even if I saw him at 60, Demetrius Knight is somewhere we got anyway. But Jared Wilson, we missed out on him. I thought that would have been a great pick at 81, I think. Probably the best center in this draft, best potential, everything. Outside of that, it's a crapshoot. Damn. That's a bummer. All right. Can't scroll down any further? Okay. All right, so tight ends are Solo Niners. They love Brendel. Hey, man, you got Hennessy you're working with. Who else you got? You got Hennessy. Ben Barch could play center. You got Drake Nugent, who was your project. You got Zakel. We need to calm down, man. Brendel's not going to be the center. I will lose my mind if it happens. It's not going to happen. All right, we get another D tackle till later. Edge, I might take Oladejo here. I might take another edge. Not going to lie to you. I could take Fenton Jr. Great. Now we're stuck with Brendel. Thanks, Mike. I'm sorry, man. I totally forgot. I was like, wait, there was a center he drafted. That's good. Wilson. That would have been nice. The running back, Kyle Mononge, won't be picked until like later on, so I'm not worried about that. There's pictures of Foresters with hamsters and a goat. What the fuck? Pterodome, dude. What the F? Be sure to like the live, guys, if you haven't hit the like already. This is an all Larry Krueger draft. Only players that he has drafted. So, guys, it's between Oladejo here. So we're going to pick between Fenton Jr., Oladejo, and Emory Jones. I'm going to take Fenton Jr. I'm sorry, he's just too good. I don't know how he is as a blocker, but I think at 81, Fenton Jr. is an absolute steal. People need to realize they will not draft a center. They will. I'm manifesting it. You gotta put the energy out there, Strawberry. They will draft Wilson. They'll draft Jared Wilson. They'll draft Jared Wilson. Energy. Okay. I'm drafting I'm drafting Harold Fenton Jr. Even though we could draft Mitchell Evans later, which is a tight end that he's drafted before. But Fenton is, to me, the best tight end in the draft when it comes to receiving. So I'm taking Fenton here for sure. So we got Fenton Jr. here. Moving back to 85. God, I want some of these D tackles, dude. That's actually a good deal. I'll take that. Accept. All right. Okay. I fell back a couple spots here. All right. We got Kenneth Kennard. We got Walter Nolan. All right. We got tight end as well. We still need a D tackle, but I'm going to draft the next guy, the next edge, and we're good at edge, which is Oladejo. There's only one other wide receiver he has drafted, which is Ricky White. He's only drafted 2 wide receivers, which is Ricky White. There's a couple centers we get later. We got a linebacker. Kobe Bryant, Anthony Belton. Pick 100. I'm going to go ahead and take Oladejo here because that's the next best player. And now we have 2. Oh, Emory Jones. Oladejo, man. Emory Jones or Oladejo? D-tackle and DN are so deep this year, no homo. That's funny. Okay, I'm going to draft Oladejo here over Emory Jones. I don't really believe in Emory Jones too much, even though he does play nothing but right tackle, so it's good to kind of have that guy. But I'd much rather draft potentially Belton if he's there, or who else did he have? Anthony Belton. He had another tackle on here. Emory Jones, the other one. He's got a couple other D tackle DNs. Savion Jones, I could potentially get. I'm taking Oladejo. That's what we had on the board. Okay, so we have 2 edges now. We don't have to worry about edge. We got a linebacker. We got Walter Nolan. We need to go D tackle next pick. I'm certain of it. Norman Lott's gone. Savion Jones is gone. Emory Jones just went 1 pick ahead, dude. Oh my God. I was going to take at 100. Was Emory Jones. I was trying to have both worlds there, man. I was trying to get both worlds. Okay, so we missed out on Belton. Belton is no longer there. That sucks. So no offensive line so far, which is a bummer on his list, even though he's only drafted Emory Jones, Jared Wilson, Jake Majors, which is a later pick, Anthony Belton. He's only ever drafted 4 offensive linemen for this team, and all of them are tackles except for 1. Tier offensive. Oh, that really bums me out, dude. Starting 2 tackles and 1 starting edge. Okay, so we need 1 more. I think we need a D tackle here and stop playing with games. We need to stop playing games here. Who's next? The next best that we cannot take Shimmer Turner. I would take Joshua Farmer here in a heartbeat. But again, we're sticking to the script. We're sticking to the all Larry Krueger draft. The dude reaches like a motherfucker. So it's just so hard. But we're going to take the next best thing. I like out of Ty Robinson, Peebles, and Pegas, I like Pegas the most. Out of all 3 of these guys, this guy 149, I like him the most. That's who I like the most. I don't like Shimmer Turner personally. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I'm probably going to go. All right, so we already got tight end, corner. There's only 1 corner. He's drafted 1 corner, guys. He has drafted 1 corner, and that is Kobe Bryant. He has not drafted a safety, or he's only drafted 1 corner and never drafted a safety. So we got a linebacker, Demetrius Knight. Ty Robinson is on the board. Pegasus is on the board. Belton is gone. Kobe Bryant's on the board. But I like J.J. Pegas the most out of all these guys. Peebles is on the board. But I got to make sure we get our 113 to 119. All the linebackers are gone that he's drafted. Wait, no, I take that back. There is 1 linebacker he's drafted. For some reason, Larry Krueger loves this undrafted guy. He has drafted this guy 3 times. Larry Krueger has drafted David Benda 3 times. He loves that linebacker. So that's somebody we can get later on in the draft for sure. But we're gonna make sure we get a D tackle here just so that we're good and draft Ty Robinson from Nebraska. Bam. Nope. And that's actually not bad, but no. All right. So pick 102. Pick 102. I want to check these guys off real quick. So we gone. Pegasus is still there. Batty's still there. And Biggo's still there. Fannon's gone. Belton's gone. Could run Mitch Evans to Kyle. Majors gone. He's still there, I think. Mason Graham gone. Savion Jones gone. Emory Jones gone. Kenneth Grant gone. Peebles, Brooks, Ricky White, Mankin. Okay. So now we got 2 D tackles, 2 edges. 2 of them are supposed to be top tier guys, and a tight end and a linebacker. We need an offensive lineman. But the next best thing that he is drafted on here. I don't think I can come on this draft an offensive. Oh, I know. Willie Lampkin and Jake Majors are still options here. Where's Jake Majors at? Oh, Willie Lampkin's 163. It's a little too soon for that guy. Edge. Wide receiver. Ricky White is still out there. Running back. 176. Corner. I guess I got to draft Kobe Bryant here. I should have took that trade. I'm going to draft. It's the only corner he has on here, and I honestly need to come away with – I have to come away with the corner. I need to come away with the corner, and there's only one corner on here, so I'm going to make sure we get one because we already have 2 D tackles. We have 2 edges. We have a tight end. We have a linebacker. God, I do not like this draft at all, dude. Even though I got all the studs pretty much. God, this dude reaches so much. I'm going to take Kobe Bryant. This guy reaches so much, dude. He just reaches and reaches and reaches, bro. It's so crazy. Okay. I got to let go of a lot of these good players. Okay. There's some. Malum is still on the board. Makuba. This hurts, man. Dylan Sampson. Tootin. Strong. Oh, it sucks. Okay, so 113. This really bums me out, dude. I mean, technically we got our needs, right? We got 2 D tackles. We got Kenneth Kennard and Oladejo do have starting potential. Walter Nolan for sure. I don't know about Ty Robinson. I really honestly don't understand the love for that guy. Offensive tackle. There's no one left there. It's all interior offensive line. Frazier, Jackson. Lampkin is still on the board, and Jake Majors. He passes good players to overdraft players. Yeah, he does that a lot. It's absolutely killing me, dude. It's really, honestly, this is killing me right now. Like having to pass on all these players, dude. So Peebles, I like Pegasus better than Peebles, to be honest with you. I think if we got another D tackle, this will not be the end of the world. Tight end. Oh, Mitchell Evans is gone. Okay, we missed out on Mitchell Evans. That sucks. 165. I guess the next best thing here is Willie Lampkin. Interior offensive line. What do you guys think? Peebles or Pegasus? Who am I drafting here? What do you guys like? Who do you guys like here? Toilet Paper Bob, what is up? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Ryu Ken? What's up? Yeah, but I feel like he drafts. I think he skips on good players, though. Like, there's some good players that are available right now. Like, Malone would be great guard. Makuba's solid. Sampson right now would be a steal. Tootin would be great. Strong would be great right here. I'm going to go – I might have to go Peebles. I have no problem drafting another D tackle. I don't hate it, even though I like Pegasus more. It's not the end of the world. So we're going to take Aeneas Peebles, our third D tackle in this draft. So boom, there we go. Pick 119. Trade back more. Nah. No, reject that. No, reject that. Reject. All right, reject all that. Okay, so what we need. All right, so what we need left. What does he have here? We have David Walker, but he's an edge, not a linebacker, and we're good on edge. I think 2 edges is fine. 3 D tackles are good. We got the 1 corner he's drafted, which is Kobe Bryant, which really bums me out. The 1 linebacker, the other linebacker he's got outside of Demetrius Knight is Benda, whatever his name is, but he's undrafted, so we'll get him the last pick in the draft. So this next pick, we're gonna reach by like a whole fucking round and a half and make sure we get our center of the future, it seems. Running back wide, and then we'll take the running back of the future after that. I think that's what we're going to have to do. 119. You know what? Not the end of the world. Let's get 4 D tackles up in this bitch. Drafting Pegas. Did it. We got 4 D tackles. Screw it. Screw it. I'm going to redirect all these picks here. Okay, we got Walter Nolan. We got Robinson, Peebles, Pegas. We got 4 D tackles. We don't need any more D tackles. We're good on edge. Interior offensive line, and we're going to get our guy, Willie Lampkin, at 124. We now have the future center. God, dude, I do not like this draft. Oh, my God. These are all players that he's drafted, by the way. These are all players that Larry Krueger has drafted. I feel like it's been through war. All right, so we got the center, corner. We don't have a wide receiver. There's no more tackles left. I can still get Majors, the running back here at 138. Monange there. Ollie Gordon. I love Ollie Gordon a lot. There's no more tight ends left. Corners, edge. There's no more edge, like I said. There's no more D-line left. We got all the D-linemen. Jake Majors at 181. Wide receiver Ricky White at 190. All right, here we go. We're going to draft Monange here. Boom! We got Larry Krueger's favorite player in this draft. According to Larry Krueger, this is his favorite player based on who he drafts all the time. This is his most draft player, which is Kyle Monange, running back from Rutgers. He drafts him no matter what, every single time pretty much. Okay. All that's left is just reaches from here on out, which I mean is not too bad in the 5th round coming up, but who should be the Deebo Samuel pick? All that's left, all we have left now, so we went through Nalton Nolan, so he's done. Went through Trey Harris, he's gone. Demetrius Harris is gone. Ty Robinson's gone. Obadeo, who we drafted, he's gone. Pegas is gone. We drafted him. Tyler Batty is still on the board. Benda's on the board. He's undrafted according to this simulator, and he's drafted him 3 times. We've drafted Fenton. He's gone. Belton is gone. Kobe Bryant's gone. We drafted him. Mitchell Evans is gone. Kyle Monange, we got him. Kyle Major is still on the board. Walker's gone. Kennard's gone. We drafted him. Jared Wilson, I should have drafted him in the 2nd round. I don't know what I was thinking. Missed out on the best center in the draft. David Walker's still technically on the board. Mason Graham, gone. Savion Jones is gone. Emory Jones, gone. Kenneth Grant is gone. Niels Peddle is gone. Taj Brooks, running back, is still there. Ricky White's still there, and Lampkin's gone. So who we got left is Ricky White, Taj Brooks, David Walker, Jake Majors, and Tyler Batty. There's only 5 players left. 231. I guess the best player that's fallen here at 1 will be David Walker from Central Arkansas. Because the next best guy we can get Jake Majors right now, who might fall at 159. Yeah, I think he will. So we're just gonna take the best player available that's on this list out of the way, like right now, and we're gonna take David Walker. Man, we missed out on some good players, dude. There are some good players here, man. There are some good players. There are some good players. Reject, and reject. Okay. Miles Frazier would be so much better, dude. But we're going to take Jake Majors at 181. How many picks we got left? That's a huge drop-off. But he might be there. You can't go wrong with too many offensive linemen. Can't go wrong with offensive linemen. Can't go wrong with offensive linemen here. Absolutely can't. So we got 2 offensive linemen. One, Willie Lampkin, has huge upside, but then again, he played for North Carolina, which wasn't so hot. Jake Majors could be really good. All right. Now, the guy that we need to make sure is still there, I think will be there, is Ricky White. And we will talk about Ricky White once we get to him. We'll talk about Ricky White once we get to him. If he's there. I'm pretty sure he will be. And he is. Okay. So, Ricky White is there. So we were going to draft. Ricky White, what's really interesting about him is that if we're going to address special teams, he has 4 career blocked punts. It's pretty good for Ricky White. He's a special teams ace. Could be a good wide receiver in the end. But when it comes to special teams, he's the guy, man. He's the guy right there at 198. And I think that's what we should do. I want to say, by the way, for Jared Wilson, this is what I thought was interesting. The reason why we missed out on Jared Wilson is kind of a bummer. Obviously, he's the best center in the draft potentially. But Larry Krueger literally said this, which is why it shocks me that he hasn't drafted him more. Larry Krueger literally said that if the 49ers draft Jared Wilson, and this is a quote, by the way, it would significantly upgrade the offensive line. He said that if we drafted Jared Wilson. But he's only drafted him one time. I don't understand that. If you think that center, Jared Wilson, is that good, and you've had opportunities to draft him, and he makes the offensive line significantly better just by that alone, I'm surprised he's only drafted him one time. I'm really surprised. All right, Ricky White, here we go. Boom. We got our ace special teamer, potentially, or kick returner. Ricky White. Let's check out Ricky White. What's Ricky White's speed? His 40 time. At 4.61. Not very fast. Okay. So, who is left? All right, we got Ricky White. He's gone. David Walker. He's gone. Jake Majors is gone. All that's left is DN Tyler Batty and Taj Brooks and Brenda. Tyler Batty, running back, Taj Brooks, and then that linebacker guy. So we're going to take – how many picks do we have left? Yeah, we're going to take – where's that guy at? Where's the – Tyler Batty. Tyler Batty from BYU. Let's check out Tyler Batty. Tyler Batty edge. Tyler Batty has 1.5 sacks, 59 tackles, 33 of them are solo. He's 6'6", 271. Says he's good. He likes him a lot. I don't really see it, to be honest with you, but we'll draft him. It's only 2. It's really late in the draft. It's not the end of the world. All right. We'll just get the last of his guys, and the last of his guys here are a running back, and a linebacker. Taj Brooks. And then the last pick will be I'm telling you right now, every time he's drafted, is he gone? Is he gone? Oh my God, someone drafted him. Oh my God, someone drafted. Oh my God. Oh no, who drafted him? Mello Dotson with the 7th pick, 246, an absolute steal, by the way. Atlanta, you bitch. Oh my God, Atlanta stole that linebacker gem that Larry Krueger's obsessed with. Larry Krueger loves this Benda guy from Texas. He's drafted him 3 times. He's obsessed with him. So there's no more guys left on the draft board. They're all been taken. So we're going to take Holland Pierce here at 203. Great project. That's the absolute steal in my eyes. I think it's everybody. I think that is everyone. Jimmy Horn. You draft Jimmy Horn. Jaquez Hunter, Reem Sanders, Cross, Ransaw, Crawford. Well, I guess I can just draft the last pick in this draft, quarterback. We're going to draft a quarterback for the last pick. Oh, kicker. Andres Borogolis. Bam! That's the last pick in the draft. So, that's what I'm saying, Terradome. The bitch stole my guy, man. Okay, so this is the Larry Krueger draft. All of these players are players that Larry Krueger loves, likes a lot, will think will be starters or potentially will be greats. There's not one player that I drafted that Larry Krueger did not praise or did not draft. He drafted every single one of these guys, praised every single one of these guys, reached for every single one of these guys. I mean, he does not give a flying F. You can tell. You can tell by these grades. But, all right, so assessing this real quick. Walter Nolan at 17, not bad. It's a great pick in my opinion. I think it's a great steal. After that, though, it was Trey Harris was the only one that was available at the time that honestly, I didn't want to draft Trey Harris. I did not want a wide receiver. I wanted something more. Might as well get more picks to address more needs. So the only players that we didn't get in the end that Larry Krueger loves a lot that we did not end up with. And keep in mind, we pretty much got all the players that he's drafted multiple times. So we got Walter Nolan. We did not get Trey Harris. So that's one. We got Demetrius Knight. We got Ty Robinson. We got Badeo. We got Pegas. We got Tyler Batty in the late round. We did not get Benda. I wanted to get him there, but we did not get him. We got Fan Jr. We did not get Anthony Belton. And that's kind of disappointing. I would rather have Anthony Belton or end up with Emory Jones if I could have. So I was kind of disappointed with that. But we did not get Anthony Belton. But we got Fannin Jr., who I think is the best tight end, receiving tight end in the draft. He's only drafted one corner, so I had to make sure we get that guy. So we got Kobe Bryant. Mitchell Evans, we did not draft him. He's really high on Mitchell Evans, loves Mitchell Evans. He's only drafted him once, but he's only drafted 2 tight ends ever, which is Mitchell Evans and Fannin Jr. So out of the 2, I think we got the best one. Kyle Monaghay was someone I had to draft. I absolutely had to draft this running back. No choice. I had no choice. This was his favorite player. This is somebody that he's super high on. This is somebody who his comp is literally Barry Sanders. Okay? So had to draft him, drafted 4 times, drafts him every single time. I will say this, though. I do like him. I do like this running back. He reminds me of Jordan Mason. If you like Jordan Mason, you will like Kyle Montague. If you like Jordan Mason, you will like this running back. He is almost a clone of this guy with higher ceiling, in my opinion. Jordan Mason ran a 4.58. Kyle Montague ran a 4.6. Pretty much the exact same thing. And the way he cuts from holes, his ball carrier vision, is almost identical to Jordan Mason's. The thing is that this guy, though, Kyle, has way better balance, has way better, stays on his feet way better on contact, and he's never fumbled the ball. Has not fumbled one time. I actually really do enjoy. I really actually love this running back that Larry Krueger's in love with. When I first saw that he drafted him 4 times, I was like, I have to check this guy out. I have to see if he's good. He is. He's actually a really good running back, and if we got him, I would not be upset. I would not be upset at all. Who else we got? After that, Jake Majors. I'm high on him. I'm high on him too. I think I like him. We ended up getting him. I think he's better than advertised. Jalen Walker, not in love with him too much. Kyle Kennard. I do like Kyle Kennard. I'm not in love with Kyle Kennard, but I mean, he doesn't like the other edges I like, but drafting him in the 3rd round, getting Kyle Kennard there, I think he could start day 1. So I think that's a good pick. Then after that, we got the only players we got David Walker. We did not get Mason Graham, but that makes sense. Savion Jones. We did not get Savion Jones. We already got 2 DNs, so that doesn't even matter. But Savion Jones, Larry Krueger describes as a monster. He says Savion Jones is an absolute monster. Emory Jones, he's drafted Emory Jones, the tackle, twice. He likes Emory Jones a lot. Thinks he'll start day 1, play right tackle immediately, play perfect swing tackle. We did not get him. Kenneth Grant, we just missed out on Emory Jones. We did not get Kenneth Grant, but it was between Kenneth Grant and Walter Nolan, so it's not the end of the world. Aeneas Peebles, we got Aeneas Peebles. We got Taj Brooks. We got Ricky White, and we got Willie Lampkin. So we only missed out on 6 players that Larry Krueger's drafted, and the only player that we missed out on that he's drafted the 2 players that we missed out on that he's drafted multiple times was David Benda and Emory Jones. Every other player we drafted was high priority, was a player that he loves. So I'd say if Larry Krueger saw this draft, I think he would love it, just because all these players are not only the players that he drafts that he loves personally, but also we're able to nail a lot of these and nail a lot of them that he personally has drafted multiple times. I think he may have drafted Emory Jones instead of another player I got instead, but I think personally he would have loved this draft. So that is the Larry Krueger draft. Let me know what you guys think. Walter Nolan, Demetrius Knight, Kyle Kennard, Fannin Jr., Oladayo. We fixed the D-line. We fixed the edge. Fixed the D-tackle. We fixed the edge. We got the linebackers. We got a corner. There's no safeties. We got the interior offensive line and running backs. I don't love all these players, but Larry Krueger certainly does. So if we got this draft and this turned out to be a draft, I would not be satisfied with this draft. I don't love a lot of these players that he loves, but this was his draft, not mine. And I just thought it'd be a fun exercise. So Papa J with the super chat. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much for the support, dude. Let's go. $2. I appreciate it. Channel's growing, baby. Let's go. Who is your sleeper player? Ooh, I got a few of those, dude. Ollie Gordon, the second running back, absolute stud. I think he's a top tier running back. He could do it all. He could block, pass catch. He breaks through tackles. You name it, man. He does it. Just Oklahoma State did not use him enough. Ollie Gordon, the second, is my favorite probably my favorite draft crush running back that a lot of people don't talk about. Nick Gordon, a lot of people are not talking enough about Nick Gordon. I know he's supposed to be a first-round draft pick, but just based on the hype alone, not a lot of people give him love. Tight end, I think Gunnar Helm is one of the best tight ends in this league, in this draft. I love Gunnar Helm a lot. He's a brutal pass catcher. Kind of reminds me of Kittle, not gonna lie to you, and he's really good blocking. I like him a lot. Who else on top of my head? Danny Stutzman. I think Danny Stutzman is going to be a solid running back, linebacker in this draft. Big fan of Danny Stutzman. One of the first players I looked at in this draft. And going back to research some of my picks, Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma would just fit the Dre Greenlaw role perfectly if we don't get Demetrius Knight. I like him a lot. I think he's a good sleeper. Safety, Billy Bowman from Oklahoma. I think he's a really good player that people will love. So those are I would say those players. Oh, and I guess my number one sleeper is probably Nick Nash from Kansas State. He was San Diego State, sorry. He was a Triple Crown this previous college, right? And when I watch him play, man, he just sticks to the ball. He attacks the ball well. He's a go-getter. He's not the fastest guy. I don't think he ran a fast 40, but like he's a wide receiver. He's a quarterback gone wide receiver, and a lot of people are sleeping on him. He's falling into the 7th round. He's falling to undrafted territory. I think that Nick Nash is going to be a good wide receiver in this league, and I think it's someone, whoever gets him is going to get a sleeper there. So those are my sleeper players for sure. All right, let's get some of these comments, and we'll bounce. And then we'll bounce. Drink some water. Atlanta, you bitch. I was pissed, dude. I was like, how in the hell do you get a guy who's like ranked 300 at 200 something? I understand how it's happening. Moshra snatched him up 110%. Kyle Montague looks good. I actually do think he looks good. If we got him, I wouldn't complain. Can't go wrong with a kicker from the U. Oh, that's right. You're a Miami guy. That's right. I mean, it's the best available kicker, and the 49ers have tried him out. So I was like, might as well. Why not? At the end of the world, last pick in the draft. I just saw some highlights on him. My guy is solid. Right. He actually looks really good. When he sees this draft, fucking Jake, Jesus Christ. Good vision, gets skinny in the holes, pause, great balance, holds that ball high and tight. Tiki Barberish, low center of gravity, 5'9", 200, nice power. Yeah, when he runs really weird. When he runs, it's like this. And his arm, it's like he is holding on to that ball. Like, there's a reason why he doesn't fumble, man. He's, he reminds me a lot of Jordan Mason with ball security. Krueger's highest running back class. He'd probably use every draft pick on a running back. True. I mean, there's a lot of running backs in this draft I love. I mean, Dylan Sampson, Ollie Gordon, Giddens is good. I'm not high on Hampton. I think Hampton is overrated. I think Caleb Johnson is also overrated. I think those two running backs are overrated. Obviously, I just recently fell in love with the Monge guy. I think he's really good. Cam Scatterbo. There's a lot of running backs the 49ers can go after, and it would be just an absolute steal. He's got that grip, man. He's got that grip. He had good games versus the U and Ohio State. Doesn't have blazing speed, but fast enough. Instinct runner, legacy. His brother played a year before in Minnesota. He looks really good, man. I'm actually a big fan. How's Al Shul? I think we're doing a show tomorrow. We still have to figure out what our subject's going to be. We haven't figured that out yet, though. So, bounce, wash with C bounce. Gotta wash with C bounce. Wash with C bounce. Today's sponsor is water. H2O is the way to go. Great. So many great returns out there. No doubt. How's Anshul? He is good last time I checked, but I think we have to schedule our subjects for tomorrow. I don't know. I don't think he wants to. I don't know if he wants to do a show tomorrow. So I'm probably gonna give him an out if he wants to. We need Ollie Gordon running back. Every highlight is him break. I know, dude. I'm glad you see that. Like, he looks every highlight, dude. He doesn't have I don't think he has a single highlight where I think to myself, my God, like, that was just the offensive line. Or I think to myself, oh, he got lucky. Or, nah, man, every single thing that he's earned has been him every single thing he's earned pretty much in his highlights. All of his great plays is just him being dominant. Ollie Gordon will be a great player. I'm telling you right now. Will be a great player. Papa J's drinking some beer. He's drinking some beer. He's drinking some beer. You should do a Grant Cohn mock draft. Does he do mock drafts? I don't think he does do mock drafts. I think he has. Doesn't he have I think he has other people do mock drafts, right? I don't think he does mock drafts. I think he has people come on and do mock drafts for him, which is not the same. I'm probably gonna do a John Chapman mock draft. I think next I'll do a John Chapman because I know he does mock drafts. I'll probably do a Wayne Breezy mock draft. Who else does mock drafts? So I'd probably do a Wayne Breezy one. John Chapman. I don't think Cohn does one. Coach does one. I'll probably do a Coach one. I don't know if Last Second Sports does it, but I'm probably gonna make this a series. I mean, there's plenty of time between now and the draft, and I think this is a good little game to play with people's draft picks to see if I can get the best of them. And who knows? Maybe Larry Krueger sees this video and he gives us a ranking. See if he likes it or not. That'd be pretty cool. Just saying. It would help out the channel a lot. But yeah, I'll probably do more mock drafts down the line from other players because I did kind of like doing this, even though I hated missing out on other players. But that intensity of like my God, dude, I don't want to reach for this guy, and oh, we're gonna skip this guy or whatever. I kind of like that. That's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Chapman, Breezy, Brad from SF Niners. I think he's done. I'll probably do Brad more towards the draft because I think he only does. Because I think Brad's only done 2 mock drafts so far. And I kind of need more mock drafts to work with, if you know what I'm saying. Because I have to have a list of players. I need at least 24 players to work with, 20-something players to work with. And I think in a draft, in only 2 mock drafts, I'm not going to get in other mock drafts, I'm not going to get 20 players. So I need to get make sure I get 20-something players, and then I'll do their mock drafts. He's done Brad's done 3. Okay. Well, so when he hits 4 or 5, I'll probably do it later on the line. I know John Chapman's done a lot, so I'll probably do a Chapman one next just because he's done a lot. Breezy, I know he's done a lot, so I'll probably do him next. Pause. Rombo has people do mock drafts, does he? Yeah, I want the creators mock drafts so that we get in their mind and try to get their players. So whoever their players are, I want to get them. So probably not Rombo if he has other people doing mock drafts, probably not him. Grant Cohn, believe it or not, I would love to do a Grant Cohn series of this, but he doesn't do mock drafts, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he's only ever had other people do mock drafts. I'm pretty darn sure. Also, I'll have to listen to him talk shit about the 49ers. And then I'll have to take a quarterback in the second round. Oh my God. I guess it'll make good content. David does mock drafts? I don't think so. I don't think he does. Does David Lombardi do mock drafts? I guess I can check. Why not? So I know Breezy does, Chapman does, Brad Graham does, but I'll wait for a little more comes out there. Who else am I missing here? David Lombardi mock draft. That one's from 2021. He's done a mock draft a year ago. I do not see. He has not done a mock draft this year. Dave Lombardi has not done a mock draft yet, so we cannot do a David Lombardi mock draft. Oh, you know what? Oh, hold on. I gotta take. All right, so I'm gonna take a picture of this, put it on the post, guys. You guys let me know if these players. I'm gonna post it and be like, "This is the Larry Krueger mock draft," and maybe he'll see it, and maybe he'll judge it. And that's about it. Okay. And maybe he'll see it. Maybe he'll judge it. Maybe he'll judge it. Okay, so I just took a picture of those. Who else does mock drafts? You guys said Grant Cohn mock draft. He's got Maj Sports. Hey, Maj Sports was in here not too long ago. Hey. He's done a mock draft with Grant Cohn. Maj Sports. Shout out to Maj Sports. Shout out to Maj Sports, man. He's done a co-stream with Grant, but that's not a mock draft. Is this a mock draft? All right. Yeah, he's having Nick Talks Niners and Mosh Sports pick players. Jesus, pick a guy, y'all. They've been stuck on this first round draft pick for 15 fucking minutes, dude. They picked Will Johnson, the corner. I'm losing you guys right now, I bet, but I'm trying to find other players. So I don't think I could do a Grant Cohn because I don't think he's done mock drafts. I think he just does mock drafts with people. So I can't do one. Sorry, guys. As much as that would have been fun entertainment, I can't do one with him. Who else? Why is Kobe Bryant hated? Dude has the power to reincarnate himself. Damn. Don't we have latest mods coming in here sometimes? We have David Lombardi's. I know he comes in here. Mod Sports, I think, obviously is friends with Grant Cohn. He comes in here. That's kind of funny. Mod Sports fans, friends of Grant Cohn. We're here talking shit about him. I can see if I can reach out to them. Does Steph from 49? Does Steph from 49K? Let's see. Hold on. Steph 49K. Let's find out. Videos. I don't see there. Trey Moore, Jordan Mason. I don't see any mock drafts here. NFL Combine. Combine, trade. I don't think she does because I don't see any mock drafts labeled. I don't think she does. I'm actually surprised she doesn't, to be honest with you. I'm actually really surprised she doesn't. I think Johnny Dell would eventually, but not yet. I don't even know who that is. I could do a mock better than anyone because I waited until after free agency. Aponte, Peacock. Who is Peacock? I hear about this guy. I don't even know who it is. What's his who's this Peacock guy? Who's this Peacock dude? Brian Peacock? I don't even know who Brian Peacock is. Who's Johnny Dell? Yeah, I don't even know who Johnny Dell is, man. I'm old, I guess. I know who Ponte is. I think he does mock drafts. I'm pretty sure he does mock drafts. So we got. Ooh, we could do a 49ers Chat Sports just did their first mock draft, which is I need more. I need more than that. I think as of right now, I think John Chapman probably the next one we do, and then after that we'll do after John Chapman we'll do a Wayne Breezy, and then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Trade back to 14. Get Simmons, Josh Simmons. I would love Josh Simmons, but he's too injury prone. We can't stick with that guy. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Mock draft with Rudy. She does a lot of draft prep. Not sure if she has mock drafts though. Yeah, I didn't see mock draft. Maybe she has a mock draft hidden in her videos because like Larry Krueger sometimes will do a mock draft, but there's no like in the title it won't show a mock draft. So maybe that's the case. I'll have to find it. Edward Austin. Welcome. Courtney Jackson. Would you draft him for special teams? I don't know, man. We got way too many special teams at this point. We got way too many special. I mean, we picked up a lot of special teams already. You don't know Johnny Del? I know Del Taco. It's a great restaurant sometimes, not all the time. Del Taco, I do. But Silver Gold Podcast, JCK510 has done stuff with Grant. He's been here before. I don't know if they've done a mock draft for him or not, though. Silver and Gold Podcast? Silver and Gold? What team is that? '49ers, Silver, and there's 259 subscribers. Oh, I see him. Welcome. It says, welcome to the Silver and Gold. No more Debo. He hasn't done a video in a while. No, he doesn't do mock drafts. No, I think it's just him and his Raiders friend do a video, do something together. Also, why do you guys keep edging during your mock drafts? I have no idea what you mean by that. Brian Peacock. I just saw him. I now recognize him. I recognize him. Johnny Dell's sidekick sucks. Sorry. His co-host is Crockett. Johnny Dell. I guess I'll check. Hold on. Johnny Dell 49ers. Are you talking Johnny Dell's Football Academy? Is that who we're talking about? Yeah, I think I've seen this guy's videos every now and again. Debo to Combine. No mock draft either. I do not see any mock drafts. Man, where are all these mock drafts at? Oh, you know what? Hey, Terradome. I don't know if you're still here, man. We should do I'll do a mock draft of your stuff. Jason Aponte, I haven't seen him. Crocker, I know who Crocker is. That sounds familiar. Also, what do you guys think of Stingley's extension? I think he got overpaid, but at the bright side, at least you got a really good corner. I mean, cap's going up, so maybe it might work out in the end. But that $5 million more is crazy. Peacock does stuff with Eric Crocker. I know who that is. Cricket calls people in college trash. I'm out on that motherfucker also. He has no excuse. Cricket? You mean Crocker? You're calling him Cricket? Johnny Football Academy does awesome game breakdowns. He actually knows what he's talking about, unlike Cone. If you were GM and Browns offer you the third for Purdy, would you do it? No. I called Cricket throw out 3 times and hid. He's mid with 2. Obviously, Steve-O does not like Croc at all. Absolutely not. Because now we don't have a quarterback, right? So that'd be terrible. 49ers, I think, no. I'm not trading Purdy. Without a doubt, I'm not trading him. It was a dirty joke. The edge joke. Gotcha. Yeah, so there's a few guys here that you guys have mentioned I'll probably check out. We're going to do Chapman next. Breezy. You guys mentioned Crocker. Who else is out there? Cone doesn't do one. David Lombardi doesn't do one. Aponte, I think he might do one. Jason Aponte from the Pivot podcast. Not the Pivot, but the Sprint Right Option, whatever it's called. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and probably so far, not a lot of people. I actually expected a lot more people to do more mock drafts. It's actually kind of shocking to see this. Not gonna lie to you. 15 people in here. Be sure to like the live. If you haven't liked it already, I really appreciate it. Right now, we're just going through future mock drafts to do, where it's all whatever content creator mock draft series. We just finished Larry Krueger. If you guys want to see how that draft went, I will post it on the post section. And you guys can vote whether or not it was good, if you like the players or not. And keep in mind, all the players that we drafted were players that Larry Krueger himself has drafted. It wasn't players that he likes. It's not players that I like. They're all players that him himself only have drafted. And we're going to do that with the rest of other content creators out there who have done mock drafts. So look out for that if you guys enjoy that kind of stuff. I can't wait for the draft to be over and we all just trip and stop. It's not going to stop until he gets paid. Did Eric Crocker play for the Jets or something like that? I think he played for the 49ers too. Pretty sure. Some of them haven't done enough yet, but might do more now that the initial wave for it. That's true. I think 49ers report just did their first one today. So maybe as like more comes out down the line, we'll do more. I need like 4 or 5 mock drafts to be able to do this kind of series, but Larry does mock drafts all the time. I know John Chapman does. I know Wayne Breezy does. I think it's everyone. I think it's really everyone who's done a lot right so far. And some of these I'm actually really shocked that don't do mock drafts. Like Steph 4K, I actually thought she would be doing mock drafts. Not gonna lie to you. Aponte, I expected more. I didn't see any there when I saw it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, so that is everything. I mean, if you guys got anything else, any other questions on your mind, I can totally give my opinions out, throw it out there. So I'd love to answer them. And then if not, bounce 2 hours and 30-minute show. W in my book. What's the one player 2025 draft that you just have to have on the 49ers? Ooh. Like regardless of like draft position, because if not, it's definitely Abdul Carter. It's without a doubt Abdul Carter. If you're talking like anyone in the draft, it's Abdul Carter. If we could have him if we could trade if we could trade our 11th pick and next year's first for him and we get him, I would do it in a heartbeat. But if you're talking about like possible draft that player on the 2020 draft that you just have to have on the 49ers for sure. That's a tough one, actually, because I love a lot of these players. Derek Harmon comes to mind. I know Will Johnson. I understand corner's not important, but I love him a lot. Man, that is a. I'm not trying to cop out. That's actually a tough question because there's a lot of my love. Player that they have to draft that's perfect for the 49ers. I should be able to answer. I should just say Derek Harmon like right away. Abdul Carter has not fallen to Philly. There's no way. He's not making it out of top 5. If he falls to 11, we're picking him for sure. Draftable, like in the 4th round, Ollie Gordon the second. If we got Ollie Gordon the second, I would lose my fucking mind because he's so good. And it would be, I think he's a future starter in this league that could potentially be a superstar. Cam Scatabo, I feel like is a can't miss prospect. He's got some, just that he's not fast, but he's good at everything else. I like Princely a lot from Ole Miss. Big fan of Princely, but not a lot of people like him a lot for some reason, but I love him a lot. Oh, got it. TJ Sanders. TJ Sanders. Absolutely. Oh, there you go. That one too. Okay, you know what? Let's go back. There you go. That's perfect. That one. That's perfect. I agree with you there. That's perfect. Joshua Farmer. That's perfect. That one. Out of all the players, if we got Joshua Farmer, that would be the perfect fit for the San Francisco 49ers. That would absolutely be like the player if they got in the 3rd round. I would be ecstatic. And the reason why I would be absolutely ecstatic about Joshua Farmer is that he could play inside and outside. And the San Francisco 49ers have need on the inside and outside. Not to mention that Joshua Farmer, I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald, but he has that same move that Aaron Donald does when he breaks through double teams. He does like and he just gets inside that double team and fits right through it every time he faces double teams. He's got Joshua Farmer has it, man. He can play inside, outside. I'm a big fan of Josh. That's actually a good one. I think that's a good one right there. Talk about price, potential, like perfect for the team. Without a doubt, Joshua Farmer. That it would have to be him. Abdul Carter should fall to a 17. That'd be crazy if he did, dude. I would seriously punch. I would personally I would go down to Santa Clara and punch John Lynch right in the fucking face. Like, I would personally punch him right in the fucking face and go to jail if he passes on Abdul Carter at 11. That would be so stupid, dude. That would be so dumb. I would lose my mind, man. Joshua Ford comes like he does it all, man. I'm surprised he's not hyped up more. I mean, it's potential that he could actually land up into the potentially he could end up in the 2nd round, back in the 2nd round, someone reaching for him based on hype and could get him this back in the 2nd round. But he's supposed to be like a mid to late 3rd round kind of type D tackle, but I'm a big fan of Joshua Farmer. I draft Joshua Farmer just about every single one of my mock drafts. Him, Demetrius Knight. I love Demetrius Knight. I feel like his value at where he's at, I think that's a great steal there. I like JJ Pegas in the 4th round. Big fan of him. TJ Sanders. I love TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. Honestly, one of my draft crushes D-tackle wise is TJ Sanders. Derek Harmon, I love a lot. I'm a big fan of him, but he does miss tackles. But outside of that, he bends the line well. He can eat up double teams. Like Derek Harmon has huge upside, so I like him a lot. So, Cody Lindenberg, linebacker from Minnesota. I kind of stayed away from Minnesota players because I don't think they're. I'm not a big fan of Minnesota players. Hunter from Colorado, that would be a dope, but that's not happening. He's gonna be a top 5 player. Hunter, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, and Will Campbell. Well, Will Campbell might fall because I've never seen him fall in mock drafts, but mock drafts are mock drafts. But I can tell you right now, Travis Hunter and what's his name? Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are guaranteed locks, top 5. Guaranteed. Jake Bengals should trade Burrow to the Titans if they want Carter that bad. They're being so violent. Man, I got a John Wick in me, bro. I got John Wick in me. If we trade Burrow to the Titans, it'll be like 4 steps back and 1 step backward, no doubt. I still don't know why Noel Williams, cornerback in California, is projected to go in the 5th. I've heard good things about that guy personally. I haven't done too many corner. I do a lot more D-line and offensive line research. But Noel Williams, I've heard a couple people actually say that. I think Strawberry, someone says they liked him before. He's 6 foot. What was his 40? 7 interceptions. Damn. 8 pass deflections. Damn. Wow. Bro's got production. 6 foot, 199. Wow. What's his 40? 4.5 speed. It's not too slow. It's not too fast either. Strong with 19 bench yards. I mean, he's got the production. I don't understand either. I mean, that production alone. 7 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, 52 tackles, solo tackles. I kind of feel the same way about Mello Dotson. Like, I like Mello Dotson a lot from Kansas over Kobe Bryant. I like Mello Dotson a lot, but I know he's slower than – he's like just under 4.6, I think. So he might fall way further back in the draft. But Mello Dotson, I love him a lot. I think he'll be a steal. But Noah Williams, I have heard some people brag about Noah Williams. So there is hype about him. But if we got him in the 5th, I wouldn't complain. That's some production that I wouldn't mind taking a shot on for sure. I can't say anything about tape-wise because I haven't seen his tape. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he's great. He's going to steal because I know, like, instinct-wise, he's so good. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you if I've never seen a guy. But I think that based on that production and what other people have hyped about him before, I think that'd be great. He ran a 4.6, like just under a 4.6. He's like, I think Mello Dotson's like 5'11", 6 foot. Mello Dotson has it, dude. He has it. He's 6'1", 190. I think he has two touchdowns, pick sixes, I think. He has 5 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, 49 tackles. And out of his 49 tackles, 39 of them are solo. I think that's pretty good even for a corner. But he ran a 4.59 40, which is pretty slow for a corner. But he's got the instincts, man. He's got the instincts. Joshua Farmer would be good for the 49ers who can plant the Rams into the ground. I think Joshua Farmer would be the absolute pick for the 49ers. I think if the 49ers got to, obviously, I don't really care. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Whoever they pick in the first round, if it's a D tackle that they believe in, they'll start day one. Hallelujah. I'm happy, right? If it's a D tackle like Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon, Kenneth Grant, I'm not going to complain because we need that. But if you go further down the line, if we got Joshua Farmer, Demetrius Knight, I would be ecstatic. Those two players I feel like are perfect for the 49ers. Demetrius Knight can fill in that Dre Greenlaw role perfectly. I wouldn't mind getting a Makuba, but I don't think the 49ers are going to get a safety. I would love Makuba. I think Makuba would fit right in a free safety, but I don't think we're going to draft him. Even though the 49ers have interviewed Makuba, I don't think we're going to get him. But yeah. Yeah, Mick picks his way down. Yeah, I think he has 2 of them. I think he's actually pretty good. So I actually like that. Much shorter than that. No, you're good. If he was 4.6, we're not drafting him. Where is it? Resign Hendrickson. Watch Mello hindsight tape. The angle he takes to cut off the balls. He has insane instincts. He's got incredible instincts. He knows where to be. He's sticky. That 4.59 is such a – when you watch him play, it's such a it's deceptive. He's good. He's good at his job. But yeah, so Edward Austin knows his draft prospects, man. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I come back anytime, brother. We talk draft prospects all the time. I'm all for it. I love talking draft prospects, getting to know draft prospects. But I definitely needed to get to know Noah Williams here, because that'd be kind of, that guy's got high upside, it seems, based on production, what people talk about him. I got to check out this Noah Williams guy. So it's a cone. Why are they only signing special teams player? They need to Joe Boyd, man, he's just losing his mind, dude. Oh my God. Special teams was a problem, brother. Special teams was a problem. So on the bright side, at least special teams is addressed. I mean, at least special teams is addressed, and you don't have to address it in the draft, and that's been fixed. On the bright side, there's something bright side there. But D-tackle wise, man, there's really nobody there. You know what I mean? There's really no one left to sign. So I wouldn't there's no one left to sign. So I wouldn't be like, they might sign Dalvin Tomlinson, I think might be available, or maybe a couple other D tackles are still available potentially. They might sign someone like that as a body for cheap, but there's really no more D tackles I think would take more priority than a rookie. And I think the 49ers are trying to go young and get those young players that experience they need, especially in a draft filled with D tackles. You want them to get that experience immediately and get better immediately. I mean, look at the Rams, right? They got Verse, they got Fisk, and they got another player as well. That's actually false, because you got the Rams did phenomenal, and that defense did pretty darn well against the Eagles. And that was quite a fight. They had Fisk and Verse out there, and rookies start all the time and win Super Bowls. You see teams start rookies and they go Super Bowl. You got what? Who went to the Super Bowl? You got Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean won the Super Bowl. Rookies there. You can have rookies and win the Super Bowl. You can do that. And again, that's also, you're also putting the 40 now you're putting the expectation being a Super Bowl now. First, you told me your expectation was 10 wins. Now you're going back to like this year, we need this only way we win Super Bowls. We gotta, where's that expectation at now? So you can win a Super Bowl with rookies. It happens all the time. They need to get rid of Brendel. I agree. I 110% agree. But there's time. There's time. There's depth to fix it. There's potential there. It's going to be okay, man. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Last for our Super Bowl rookie D tackle Bryant Young back in 1994. Right there, man. Right there. Right there. Jake, right there. Defensive rookies, Fisk, First, McCollum. Against, exactly. See, y'all know. See, Rant, man, Jake knows his stuff, dude. I'll tell you what. Exactly. So it's potential. It's possible. It really honestly is. But I think the only dry bone position that we have is D tackle. Get two of them, and you're fine. All right, guys, it is 9:48. I got to go to get ready for bed. I got a few things I have to do before I go to bed. I have to take the dog for a walk and all that jazz. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce. Thank you guys for this great conversation. A 2-hour and 48-minute live. Fantastic. We just went through the Larry Krueger draft. Thank you guys so much for being part of that. Thank you guys so much for coming in with great comments and questions, having a great conversation. You guys are awesome. Edward Austin, I hope you come back more, man. Great conversation. I like your opinions. I like the guys you threw out there. Pause. Joe Boyd, I know you're freaking out, but I still appreciate your presence, man. You coming up in here and still having a conversation. Jake, as always, I appreciate you coming up in here, man. Strawberry, the best. Appreciate you, dude. Juan, as always. Nikita and Michael, both you guys have a good night. I appreciate you. Who else? Steve-O, as always. Thank you so much. Ryu Ken. Bear, I think it's the first time you've been in here, but welcome. Hope to see more of you, buddy. Val, I don't think Val's been in here. If Val was here, I appreciate you. Toilet Paper Bob, thank you so much. Terror Dome in the house. let you guys know I'm going to do a show with Terra Dome on Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon time on Thursday. Be there. Be awesome. Support your boy. Support both channels. Val's up in here. That's where he was. Okay, OG, I appreciate her as always. And Papa J, the best mana broken ask for. Appreciate you as well. You guys are awesome. You guys make this go. You guys make this experience the best fucking experience I've ever fucking had. Going live, man. Like, just completely destroy my expectations every single time. Absolutely love it. So thank you guys so much. And be sure to like the live if you haven't liked already. To everybody who watch this later, sub if you haven't subbed already. Be part of the conversation. Be part of the wolf pack. And at the end of the day, it's just one big conversation. That's what it's all about. And be sure to like the live, because every single like, man, every single freaking one, every one makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, not a gang, baby.